This version of It's Eric Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you
ready? It's Eric Nagel. It starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Eric Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the program. I am Eric Nagel, and joining me, as always, from the frozen tundra known as Arizona, say hello to Jordan.
Hi, everybody.
Look at us. All tired and downtrodden, like we don't even want to be here. But alas, here we are.
Speak for yourself.
I will speak for myself. I don't want to be here tonight. There's a reason why we were late for starting all of this stuff, and I'm kind of like, yeah, should we call it? But no.
His Juneteenth celebration went along.
You don't even want to know how we blew the roof off this dump.
Literally.
If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, do us a... I got it wrong again. I thought I got to put a thing over here. That thing.
I figured I know how to do it now because I have to look like a really low rent, like wrestling.
Okay. Do us a kindness. Go over there if you're on the iHeartRadio app and put us at the number one position for your presets. It means something to somebody. If you're on the Apple and Spotify, any of those places, you can go over there and do us a kindness. Leave us a positive review. It does about the program. I have seen the likes going up on the Spotify end. Apparently, somebody said you can leave reviews on Spotify. I can't find them. Like, I see the star rating. I can't find where the reviews are. I don't know if that's entirely true or not, but I'm looking into it. I was told that it is. I have not seen proof of it, but if you are doing that, we do appreciate that. If you want to join us live each and every week as we do this show, hey, you're here right now, probably, hopefully. On YouTube and on Twitch, all under It's Eric Nagel. Like and subscribe to those places. Turn on the notifications. It'll let you know when we are live. Twitch is very good about that, by the way. If you follow other people on Twitch, it lets you know the second that thing starts up.
Yeah, I get notifications randomly. It's like, Girk's playing. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I subscribed to Girk.
I know, 2 a.m. Jordan's online. He plays for 20 minutes and then realized this was for naught and then turns it off.
And then I lament what I'm doing.
But yeah, YouTube and Twitch, that's where you can find us. Like and subscribe there, and you can watch live shows. And if you can't do any of that stuff and just want to watch this when you're damn good and ready, hey, that's okay too. Videos available up on our YouTube channel. You get the full show. Kinda. It's in 2 parts now because of how long we've been going. And people seem to like it better that segment 2 is its own official video, so they could just skip ahead to that instead of seeing, hey, this is a 3-hour show. I am not investing my time in that. And believe me, I get it. I don't want to invest my time in a 3-hour show, but alas, here we are every week doing that. We are desperately trying to cut it down. I had some talks. I'm not going to give you any fake bullshit about, oh, we might be having a deal coming, because people love to do that. But I have some talks. We have consultants and other people that we discuss possibilities with. And one of the things I constantly be getting told is it's great you can do a show that long, but if you're back on a commercial platform or something else, even what you're doing, not everybody wants to listen. And I get it. I know. I said, but it's a good problem to have that we have to cut the show down instead of trying to add up the time. It's like, you guys can't fill 2 hours. Oh, really? Watch how we do it without a bathroom break.
Look, I will say from my hero, Winston Zedmore, if there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
Yeah.
Which means we'll do an hour show.
Yeah.
I'll cut it down to 30 minutes. We'll just hit the hits and then get the out.
Because if you go on there, sometimes there's like 3 to 4 commercial breaks an hour. It's fine.
We'll do an hour of live reads.
I'm going to be sitting there. Yeah, I'm going to be sitting there with my feet up half the time on the console. And just like,
right.
Well, what are you doing? I'm waiting for commercials so I can talk for another 5 minutes and then go back to 10 minutes of commercials. Right. This is my job now. It's not our job, but just saying, hypothetically speaking. Anyway. Welcome to the show. Why did we start late? If you're on the podcast or if you're watching it another time, doesn't mean anything to you, but for the people in the live room here, so there currently is a bad storm, actually a series of bad storms that are coming through the area that I'm in. I think the 4th one is on its way. since this afternoon. It's been pretty violent with wind, rain. The last one had some hail coming down, which is not good because other parts of the country, hail means tornadoes. We didn't get told anything about tornadoes, but you could hear it, bouncing off the car, the windows, etc. And we're at a lull right now. I think there's another one coming before. We got a couple hours still on the warning thing that was going on. Anyway, it's been a whole ordeal. And then dealing with a little kid that's not happy with what's going on and power flickering. I was like, don't know if we're going to do this. But alas, here we are. Better late than never. Some would say never. And I might be prone to agree with you. But we're here.
See, I'm jealous. You're like, oh, it's windy. Oh, it sucks. It's rain and hail and all this stuff. And I'm going, oh, I just got the weather alert. We've hit our first 117-degree day. And summer starts tomorrow.
Your rain involves sandstorms and scorpions.
My tears as I walk outside, my eyes boil to get the mail.
Yeah, your storms are essentially a biblical curse.
Right. Oh, look, it's frogs today.
It's like we got floods, we've got, potential hurricane stuff, we've got rip currents, we've got all of these things happening at once. And you're like, I used to have a side of the house. It's now under 18 feet of sand. And apparently they discovered fossils. There's dinosaurs in my backyard.
That would be cool.
That would be cool, right?
I was going to say, I'd be okay with that. If that was the result of this terrible weather, then I'd be okay with it.
Unlike finding oil, finding dinosaur fossils, they're immediately seized by the federal government. So you don't get a dime out of that. And you don't get any, what is it called? When they have to destroy and dig up your stuff, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You don't get any payment to restore your property.
You don't get to recoup any cost.
Yeah, thank you. I almost said reparations. I know.
You don't get reparations. It's Juneteenth.
Jurassic Reparations. That could be the show title, but also a great concept. I'm going to write that down there. Jurassic. One R or two? Two?
Oh my!
No, there's two S's. Anyway,
that's one R, two S's. I just have to think about it
for this Jurassic 10th holiday that we're celebrating here.
Jurassic 10th. Also.
Yeah, see people already coming and going. Hello and good night.
Hey everybody, goodbye.
You know what? Here, before you leave, just hit the mute button and leave this on all night so we can get the view hours. We would appreciate that.
Everyone comes in like grandpa at a brothel. He just walks in, grabs his hat, walks out.
But the hat on, walks right out. Was he whistling during that thing?
I don't remember him whistling. He may have been humming something, but yeah, he walks in, sees Bart sitting there, and just turns around, grabs his stuff, walks out.
Tom from Alberta, check out the storm wind hail damage from Shepherd, Montana. It's stripped the siding off most of the houses.
The mist of the houses.
Yes. Thank you. Compensation. That's what I was trying to think of. Not Where's the reparations from the government digging up a velociraptor from my front yard? Sir, I don't think that's the term you're meaning. I want my reparations.
I want to be like Nicolas Cage and have a stolen Mongolian Tyrannosaurus Rex skull just in my house and be like, what?
Fantastic. It hangs over a doorway like a moose in a lodge.
Just hanging over the kids in bed, and they wake up. There's like a T-Rex right there. Fantastic. It's like, no, I got to scare the kids.
Well, you could make Arizona famous yet again. White man on the news demanding his reparations, not knowing he's using the wrong word.
Right. In this political climate, that would be the worst thing I could possibly do.
It'd be fantastic. You'd be all over the place. They'd fly you out to the Tonight Show or something.
Why is that guy protesting? He just wants reparations.
It took him a day before he realized he was using the wrong term. But it doesn't matter. He's internationally famous right now.
Right. Idiot protester.
You're the face and the leader of a movement that you did not want to be part of.
And that, some kind of supremacy. That's good stuff.
Grand.
But yeah, you had a nice old-fashioned baseball rain delay, and now we're live.
Nash came on, and I was like, oh, maybe it's time to go to bed. I don't know.
Half of our audience.
But we're going to be joining you next week. We've got all these warnings of 100-degree days all next week.
Ooh.
So that'll be fun.
Welcome.
I just realized something. My camera is backwards.
Is it?
I was wondering why I couldn't figure out the pointing thing. Yeah, do you not look at my screen? Does the
Everything
logo
comes out is
backwards?
the logo's fine. Yeah, no, everything's normal the way it should be.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the live feed. It is right. Why is it backwards? I don't know. Something happened tonight before we got on. I told Jordan, I was like, we're probably going to be a little late. I got to see what this storm's going to do. When I came down here, everything that I had was all logged out. Everything.
It was a sign.
And I had to log back to every. But like, you can't just use that 2-factor authentication stuff, which now was the whole movement of securing all of your stuff. You have to have that 2-factor authentication. Then they tell you, oh yeah, that can be easily hacked. So now don't use the 2-factor. There was like another thing you have to apply for now.
Oh,
and
don't worry. We have a story that we'll cover.
That's exactly where I'm leading into.
Yeah.
So I get down here. I can't get into to this software. I can't get into the radio software. I can't get into my like all my Gmails are reset. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I log back into everything. I don't know what happened, but I know my mic settings and the camera settings were all reset to factory settings coming back into the software here.
Well, that's kind of on par from what's been happening to you the past like week or two, where Microsoft decides, hey, you're in the middle of something. Guess what? Restart.
Although we do have proof now that it's not just before we go on to the to do the show on Thursdays. It happened the other night. I was editing a project and I just sent you a screenshot and I go, apparently Windows thought otherwise. And I sent a screenshot and I go, so it's not just Thursdays that it's deciding to redo my computer, and I gotta wait for 20 minutes as it slowly tells you, oh, you're at 5% for this update.
At least the week before it had the wherewithal to wait for us to end the show first, and then the internet crashed when we usually do our post-show hangout for a second. You're like, you were gone and you're like, my internet literally just crashed the second we went off camera. I'm like, wow. So I mean, we're getting better at it.
Okay, there we go. Now
See, you looked fine on our end. I wouldn't have messed with it. You took a big risk there, buddy.
Everything was backwards. Like I'm seeing everything, but it was driving me nuts because I'm looking here and it look on the screen. I'm looking that way, and all right.
Let's start over. Hi, everybody.
And scene. There we go. Big Red Tower. Hello, my friend. Welcome back into the chat. So completely against forced software updates. I am too. I am the king of not doing automatic software updates. And
it's so funny.
I don't know what happened with Windows, but I know I turned that off at one point and it keeps doing this now. It just decides to do an update on me instead of letting me know. The editing session the other night, it didn't even let me know. It just said, updated, restarting your computer. There's an update happening, and it went to like a light blue screen, which, if you get the blue screen, that's not good. No. But get the light blue screen, and then I see the percentage ticker going on that it's doing some kind of update thing. I didn't even have a chance to save my layout settings. Thank God, DaVinci and Premiere, they do automatic saves all the time. But it just shut everything off and started doing that update. My iPhone, I never have it set to automatically update because I learned many years ago, every time there's a new software update, you see on the news and online the next day, the fucking problems people are having. And it's not just that they didn't like the new features. They don't like that this, the clock is now on this side of the screen, or this is in a different position than they were used to. That's petty bullshit you can get over with. It's when they're saying, hey, they took this feature away, or this isn't working anymore. That's why I never do automatic updates. I get to the point where my phone says, it starts to brick, and then says, you must plug in the phone. It is forcing the update on me because I went way too long, because another update is coming and I still don't have the previous update.
Yeah, see, I'm Eric's evil Mexican twin here, and I'm running the iOS 26 beta for developers on my phone just to see if it goes away. So I've been testing new stuff, and I'm pretty sure I'm willing to brick my phone just so I can say I had it 5 months before everybody else.
And that does nothing.
It does nothing. There's no clout behind it.
That is as much of a clout or a humble brag as the people who are waiting online at midnight for the new iPhone release or something just so they can get on the news. And I was the first guy at the Apple store in New York. Whoop-de-doo. Everybody else got theirs a day early because they accidentally shipped it, and you got it early evening from Amazon or FedEx or whatever. Who cares that you were waiting online? Who the hell cares? People coming in. Hello, Girk. Good to see you, Girk. Hey, Girk. Quick little message for you. I know you have a set group for Sea of Thieves. Maybe let me know sometime when there's an opening instead of me popping in and you go, oh, do you want to play? I'm in the middle of work. I can't. If there's an opening, please let me know. I would love to come and play, but you got to give me a heads up. Otherwise, he doesn't ask because he has the same people on there. He goes through his new core group of people playing.
I do love the message you sent me the other day, and you were kind of lamenting your situation when it comes to video games. You were like, I need to find consistent people. Everyone I play with has like no attention span. They always move on to the next thing the second I get their thing.
They do.
And I don't have anybody to play with. I'm like, I'm sorry, man.
Look, I understand new games come out and people I'm fine. I'm like, I'm not stupid. I know people like playing the new stuff. But when you have people that play games, but they also stream, then sometimes it's like, I thought we were meeting up at this time to play some. Oh, we're all playing this game now. Oh, when was that decided? Oh, it just came out. You should get it. And I look at it and I go, I don't want to play this game at all.
I don't want to spend $25. And then the second it goes on sale, no one's playing
25, 50, something like that. Some of these games, I know people are playing Enshrouded right now.
I've never heard of it.
It looks, all these D&D based kind of games I don't know if Breath of the Wild took stuff from D&D style game, RPG style games, or if they took from what Breath of the Wild does. Mm-hmm. But I'm seeing them like with hang gliders as they jump off a cliff with a hang glider, and you've got the circle bar telling you how long you can hang glide before it cuts off. That it was the thing. I discovered that in Breath of the Wild. I don't know if that existed before that, but I'm seeing a lot of similarities in these things. I don't like the grinding games where you're constantly, it's like, we got to build this, we got to build that. I don't like the survival games like Rust and those kind of things where you're just constantly foraging, looking for the right plants.
I was going to say, your biggest complaint with Breath of the Wild was the fact that you had to cook food and your armor would break and your weapons would break. And you were like, I'm not doing this anymore. Because
there's no guide. Like, it's open map, like you have to go to different areas to do different things, but there's no guide telling you that when you go to this area you need this stuff, you go to this area you would need this stuff.
I remember an early conversation a while back when we first started to hang out where you were complaining about Breath of the Wild and why you stopped playing is because you were climbing a mountain, a storm hit.
Yeah,
getting lightning hitting you, and then you're like, I don't know where I'm going. I got killed by an
ice dragon because I didn't have the right weapons and I didn't have the right clothing.
You didn't have clothing,
and I was foraging for apples nonstop just to stay alive. I go, I'm obviously in the wrong place. I don't have the level of experience to be in this area, but I don't know where to go. There's just all these open areas to go do stuff, but I don't know.
It just made me laugh.
Yeah, that's what drove me fucking nuts. And then if you stop playing the game for a few days and then you come back, you have no idea what you're doing in the game.
You've completely forgotten what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've restarted that game 3 times.
I just restarted it the other day.
And I've gotten as far as to some village where you could go in there and you're buying like carrots and fruit. Another right across from that store was an armor thing that I can't afford anything. And it's near a waterfall. I'm like, oh, this is nice. And then I go out and then shit's, attacking me and I lost the horse. It just became a whole ordeal.
Like, what do you mean I have to dye my clothing?
I don't know what I'm doing. And isolate that one. But 2, I don't know in the game. It's like, I can usually pick up the gist of a game and what I'm supposed to do. I am the king of side quests and going off and trying to break the game and doing shit that doesn't matter to the main story. I love doing that stuff, but I couldn't figure out a rhyme or reason to that game. So I just stopped playing it. And then a second one came out and I said, I'm not even going to attempt that because I didn't even get anywhere near the first one.
Yeah, because they were like, hey, remember that game you really didn't like the first time for you? We added more building. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need to grind more for supplies.
Right.
In order to, now you've got I've got an ample supply of strawberries. Now I have to get twigs and a certain kind of gemstone in order to forge this thing, in order to build walls so I can have a house. It's like, what? I just want to slay things. I want to go and kill shit, find coins, jump over lava, maybe figure out the hang gliding thing, and then eventually get to Ganon. That's all I would like to do. And they made it so impossible. And I just said, I think this is one of those games that is just going to be beyond my comprehension and not doing it anymore. Anyway, bringing it back a step, people tend to jump on new games as soon as they come out, and then they're all about those games, especially if they're streamers. Like if they stream regularly, they're constantly doing things. It's like, I want to play this game. Oh, no, I can't play that game. People don't like watching that play game. I don't care if people like watching playing that game. I enjoy the game. I'd like to continue playing the game. Now, we moved on to something else. Okay, so what do I do then? What do I do? That's fine. They moved on to another thing. That's great. I'm glad they enjoy it. But it's like we didn't even get a chance to finish this game. So I want to go back and sometimes some of these games you need other people to do it. You can't just go in solo. Yeah, it's hard to find regular people that want to play all the time. So there's a new update coming to Phasmophobia next week. We'll see how many people are coming back to that game in order to play all the new mechanics and the new stuff that they're adding. When is it? 24th, I think they're updating it. So we'll be doing all that. There's been at least 2 or 3 seasons that have gone by in Sea of Thieves that I would like to go and do stuff, but there's no one around to do it. And some of that shit you can't do by yourself. They say you can, but it's almost impossible.
I've never had fun sailing by myself in that game. If you guys weren't playing, then it was just pointless.
I have fun doing the PvE stuff. It's when it comes down to, oh, here comes another ship that's going to ruin everything that I'm going to do. I'm like, whatever, I'll throw the boat, let it set sail, and I hop on an island, jump a server or something. It's like, it's not worth my time. Because it's fun to do that when you have other people playing. If you're doing it by yourself, it sucks. It's not fun. So why do I bother with that? People coming in with updates about software updates. Windows asks what time you want to update. Once you set a time, Windows doesn't ask anymore. It just updates at that time again. Yeah, I don't set any of that stuff to do it. I just wanted to turn it off. And whenever it comes on there, it's like skip, and I'll just skip it because I don't want to do it. I don't need to deal with that stuff. And then it just decides whenever it damn well pleases to reboot everything and do my software updates. Our pal Chris, Subdivisions. Follow his YouTube channel. He has a lovely set of pipes on him, and he sings karaoke on Friday nights. More often than not, updates don't cause as much havoc, but also most aren't in trouble because they didn't do a security update that must, I'm guessing he's saying must, have a specific thing to be taken advantage of. I mean, he knows. He does IT and all that stuff, so he would know. Big Red Tower. I ran a Windows 95 beta back in the day. Been terrified of beta OSs ever since. I remember when Windows 95, we got that and installed it into the computer, or we got a new. I forget if we got a new one. We might have gotten a new computer that came with the CD for Windows 95. But I remember going through because the logo was different.
And Netscape.
Windows. I don't know if Netscape. No, it was still Internet Explorer. The big thing that they were like, oh, look at all the cool shit you can watch. And it was showing us the Weezer's Buddy Holly video.
I remember that.
I was like, why was this pre-installed with Windows 95? It was fun, but I was like, I didn't really need a music video built into my computer for all of that. Chris is saying we spent $125 on PGA 2K25, played it for maybe a month, and now went and got himself a job. We haven't played it in months. $125. Yes, I'm a Kentucky Fried Idiot. That's going to be the case now, like when GTA 6 comes out, because that game's going to be at least $100 for as long as they've made everybody wait. And then, you know, all the different promotional tiers that you buy this version, you get a pimp cup, you buy this thing, you get some kind of special boat, you know, all of that stuff that they normally do in there.
I've noticed that I tend to search the, what is it, Game Pass or like the other subscriptions. And if it's not on there, I get really disappointed that I can't just download it because I don't want to drop the money for it. Because there was something the other day that I saw streamers playing, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. And I know this is going to be a problem, me saying this out loud, but it's a dating simulator. But the weird thing about this, just wait, hold on. It's called Date Everything. So you walk around your house and you have this little heart thing. And when you point it at, like, say, the refrigerator, it gives you the option to date the refrigerator. And then it goes to that view where, like, these little dating sims come, and, like, the refrigerator is like this hot person with that looks kind of like a refrigerator. It's weird.
Ew.
But, like, it's got a ton of voice actors in it from, like, video games all over that I think is funny. And I've been watching it and it looks hilarious and stupid. So I wanted to see if it was like to download on Game Pass or something. And the second it showed that it wasn't there, I was like, well, I'm not going to pay $26.
No, that sounds like one of those. It sounds like one of those. There's a whole section on Steam.
Oh,
like
Steam's
really bad adult games.
Terrible, like Japanese panty games and stuff.
Yeah, it's all that weird creepy shit.
It's like a puzzle game, but it's like masked with like pornography. I'm like,
This sounds like it could be that. I got the trailer here. Let me bring that up and see if we can take a look, because I'm curious to see what this game is.
It's really weird.
16. They say love sees not with the eyes, but with the
I just think it looks stupid enough to try it.
why it turns up where you
Look
live.
how like everything kind of glows. The second it glows, you can date that
You
thing,
can
and there's
date
like
everything: the washing machine, the chair, the refrigerator,
Time for a snack.
right. It looks so stupid.
back door, even front and back
What are
door,
you looking at?
the fan, the wall, the microwave, the toilet, the
Like,
dust bunny.
who
behind
thought of
the
this?
Couch. All right then. The curtains, bed, treadmill, mousetrap, dishwasher, desk, piano, dirty laundry, clock, candelabra, the TV, bath, towels, rubber duck, shower, floor, ceiling, shelves, ironing board, trash can, air fryer, vacuum cleaner, the devs, a glitch in the game itself, the shadows, water, earth, fire,
game
air,
itself.
your overwhelming sense of existential dread. You can even date the kitchen sink.
Everything leads to love. You can date everything.
So remember, love isn't where the heart is told to look, but where it dares to wander. Date everything.
Looks
Out now.
ridiculous.
Oh,
It looks absolutely ridiculous, and I just want to see it. Like, I just want to see how ridiculous it can be.
was this like a banner sale for Pride Month? It's like, hey,
I don't know.
This counts towards the rainbow umbrella that they're waving around.
I was messing around, I think, on the Steam store, and so like the Steam store is like they'll have like everything that's on sale, what new games are out there. It shows everything, and then toward the bottom you can see like live streams on the Steam store now, where people like the games are being streamed, and that one just keeps popping up. So I'm like, okay, what is this? And I checked it out. I was like, okay, this sounds absolutely ridiculous.
I noticed that too. Like
Yeah.
you go to look at a game and it shows you somebody live streaming it. Imagine you're just trying out a game and you're like, I don't know if I like this game, or maybe I don't know, maybe it's one of those embarrassing games, and they just put you up on the stream on the Steam page showing you playing this game. And you're like I'd be
That would
sitting
be
there like,
funny.
what am I doing at this dating game? I can't even. Everywhere I move, the icon to it's like the guy's got a hard on for the table. You know, for the new rug, the ceiling fan that's going on. I'm trying to turn on the light switch and I'm getting asked to dinner. I don't know what's happened to this game here, but now apparently people are seeing you on Steam as they're trying to read the description and figure out, oh, it's a $5 game. Look at this asshole playing it there.
Well, there is an option that you have to turn off in your Steam account so that people don't see what's in your library and
Right.
they don't see what you're playing. Because I've seen back when I had a former friend who also had Steam, he started playing a game that was literally one of those like Japanese, panty, puzzle games, and you could see him playing it, or you could see it was like his last played. And I called him out on it. He goes, "I accidentally downloaded it. I got a refund." I was like, Sure you did. Steam just told on you, you degenerate.
Yeah, Steam loves to tell on you.
Oh, they're quick to tell on you.
Because if you have a friends list on there, it constantly, if you forget to turn Steam off and you're doing other things, it pops up in the corner that somebody you know is playing a game, and it tells you what game they're playing. So like, there's no privacy at all, and it might not be anything even embarrassing. It's like,
No.
oh, somebody's playing Diablo 4. It's like, it's 7:30 in the morning. They're not working. What's going on?
Rob's
Chris saying,
called me
game
out on
just
that
made
too.
Eric lose more faith in humanity than ever before.
Correct.
Yeah, I've seen it's not hard to miss on Steam because they show you like a main page of
What's new,
weekly
deals.
sales, monthly sales. Sometimes there's studio sales. If a studio has a whole collection of games, that it constantly lets you know when things are going on Steam. I mean, it's one of the best things about Steam. It lets you know when games are discounted, new things that are popping up. Here's some trailers. Here's new deal. It does what
it literally just popped up right on the main page for me. Date everything.
Well, it says marked as favorites for you, so that would be why.
Why does it say purchased on the bottom? Shut up.
He bought the game 4 times. They only sell it once. He kept making up new accounts.
I had to make new accounts.
But point being is that sometimes when you see there was a spring sale not too long ago, and it says, hey, spring, whatever thing. So click here to see all the games. So you're just going through and like, all right, let's see what they got here. Some of those games show up in those sales pages.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever they say like this is less than $1, I'm a sucker for anything less than $1. Right. Like, I'll buy some of the dumbest things for like 35 cents. I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah. Play it. It's just Casey's saying, Jordan, I'm worried about you. You like the KFC dating game and you want to date household appliances.
That KFC dating simulator is hilarious.
I
think it's like I Love You, Colonel Sanders. It was a free game that KFC actually made, but in the style of a Japanese dating sim,
right?
Where you're trying to hook up with a young Colonel Sanders at a cooking school, and the dialogue is really stupid and funny. Back when the Xbox 360 came out, Burger King was giving away video games that they made with the King. Right. There was like a Mario Kart ripoff and all these things. So these are fun. I like when they get creative enough to do something out of the box and stupid. So the KFC thing is just dumb. The other thing is in this date everything, and this is literally for Casey in the chat. The washer and dryer, the dryer version of the character that pops up is voiced by Neil Newbon from Baldur's Gate. So they've got a lot of people. That's
a missed opportunity because the dryer should show up as a stepmom that can't get out, is halfway hanging out.
Right.
I mean, if what the internet tells me is true, stepmoms and younger sisters, or what is it? Sorry,
stepbrother, I'm stuck.
Are prone to either getting stuck in a windowsill or in a dryer, sometimes a dishwasher. And then, I
don't understand people not understanding spatial awareness.
Right. It's just, it's so terrible. Yeah. Subdivision saying, Eric needs to play Rust like some of us do. Work, then come home, bust rocks and chop trees, a.k.a. more work till 3 a.m. Damn game sucks you in like No, I'm not playing that game. I hate those survival games. I can't stand it.
I like those.
Skittles is here. Hey, buddy. I just beat the first part of Blueprints. I've only did on day one. I need to go back and do that. I still have Atomic Heart, which was supposedly the new BioShock.
By the way, they announced a sequel, so finish it up.
The what?
They announced a sequel for it. Finish that one up.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and do that. Tom, what are you talking about? I miss Heather. Can you unban her? We didn't ban.
She just doesn't show.
Yeah, Heather's not speaking to me right now because of things I've said on the internet. So,
in handwritten letters, email,
texts out of nowhere. It's a whole thing. It's weird. You can feel like an idiot. You wasted your money on that stuff. EA throws holiday parties on the money we put into Call of Duty over the years. Yeah, I don't mind spending money on games. I just want to get something out of it. Like this game I'm currently playing right now is called Moral Dilemma: The Interview.
I saw you playing it last night. I was wondering why we weren't having any pre-show conversations about what we're doing
you
tonight.
Either. I just assumed Summer and you're with your kids, so I didn't bother you.
I don't like them. You know this.
And I was playing that, but then I got to some points where I was like, oh, I can continue on, but you have to buy the DLC. It's $5. I went and bought the DLC and then started going further into the game. That game is funny. It's weird. It's a weird game, but it's funny. It's got a lot of... the signage and things has a lot of the feeling of being in Aperture Labs, like with Cave Johnson. You would see things written on the wall. The posters about the robots are better than you in every way as a form of encouragement. That's the feel of that game, but it's also there's a lot of weird shit, puzzles, trivia, things you have to figure out. There's there's one part where you're being interviewed and they're giving you scenarios, and they're asking you to pick between a couple things, and it's showing you how you would deal with moral dilemmas, right? So the first one is a lady is in the supermarket and she's looking to get she's looking for some kind of soup, but she's torn between chicken noodle and tomato. What should she do? If you pick the tomato, that's the one that she wanted. And she says, that's great that you picked it because chicken noodle wasn't on the shelves to begin with. So like you didn't know that information, but
it's weird.
If you pick, I went back and tried it again. If you pick chicken noodle, it says, well, there's none on the table. So this solves your problem. It's tomato. It is. And it's like, all right. So you're getting the same answer, but whatever. It's like a Venn diagram almost, right?
You pick chicken noodle. She finds out it's not there. She beats her children in anger.
Yeah, something.
Like it just spirals into something crazy.
She just steals the tomato soup and runs off because that's what you do now in supermarkets and CVS's. The second scenario shows it's an aerial view of some guy's apartment, and he's at a corner desk with like 4 monitors. And they reveal that this guy has managed to hack the government computers of the world and has all the codes to launch nuclear devices. I'm like, wow, that's a big change from the supermarket. And it says, do you press the button to launch everything or do you not press the button? What do you think I did?
Yeah, I would have pressed the button.
I press the button and the thing explodes. You just see a big glowing, mushroom cloud, and then it settles down, it goes dark. And then it kind of like it fades it back into the scenario. The apartment is charred. Everything laying around is all ash colored, including the corpse of the guy laying on the floor. And the interviewer goes, well, he goes, that's the first time I've ever seen anyone pick that option. And he goes, well done. Nice. Like he's talking about, he's not saying I was wrong, but he was questioning how I came to the conclusion about pressing the button. I still got hired, and then I'm going through the rest of this stuff as you do. I play those kind of games. I play that kind of weird shit. I don't play the nonsense that Jordan's is going to date inanimate objects that all turn into Pokemon and not Pokemon.
Whoa, hold on, Pokemon,
Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. Whatever those anime people are. Yeah, I've looked and play those games, puzzle games. I'm still playing. I wanted to finish Schedule 1 because they have more shit coming down the line, but I wanted to get to that part, but everyone bailed on me, so I can't play that. What other games do I have? I talked about New Phasmo. There was something with Sea of Thieves. Yeah, Chris, right here. Most fun I had on Sea of Thieves was hopping servers trying to find Eric for literally no reason at all. I would have been so happy if you'd done that, even if you sank me or destroyed what I was doing, or I sank whatever. Would have been fun, but it's so hard to hop on the servers to try to find anybody anymore. It's not like you can just invite people in to a server. They got to be on your ship. It's really difficult. But anyway, video games are fun. I'll spend a lot more onto games. And when GTA 6 comes out, I'll buy the PC version. I know better this time. Because apparently you can't cross-platform on GTA 5.
Yeah, because I think they're releasing the PC version like months after the actual console version.
Yeah.
So they're not building it right in, which is kind of a ridiculous thing nowadays. So
Chris saying that it's a Japanese game that date anything. Half the population walks around with pillow wives, for fuck's sake. That is weird.
That is true.
But it makes a lot of sense. It seems like that's what they do. Andy Hannon in the chat saying most of them aren't streams. To be honest, it's more like YouTube's premier content from influencers that you had a brand deal with. All right, so they're not just randomly spying on you. I like. Oh my god,
that would have been a cool feature though.
Yeah,
like that would have been hilarious. Like you have to opt in and then be like, ooh, let's see if I get screwed over playing, Doki Doki. Whatever puzzle game. It's like,
I always see like our agent Rob, Super Agent Rob Stark, where he's playing like Helldivers 2 or that some kind of spaceship game where you're stealing other people's
Rock Galactic,
something
he's
like
always
that.
Playing that one.
And then I happen to see him on Steam, and he's trying to finish up his Animal Crossings town. That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be good. There's
a stream game called. I'm sure there is. Nothing surprising. My
fun bit that I used to do, you can gift games to people. I would buy really bad dumb games like we're talking about and gift them to people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to show up in their library so bad. But I think you have to accept it. And then I was like, damn it, there was a flaw in my plan.
How much did that dating game cost?
$26. That's why I didn't. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
If it's like under $5.
For a bit, I will.
I would buy because I think when you gift a game, it gives you a code, right? And you got to send the code over to them to download it.
I think it alerts their Steam account.
I know there's something you can do with codes.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, if that thing drops to like a $5 sale, let's buy a few and just send codes to people.
That'd be great.
And not tell them what the game is. And it's like, hey, you got to get on this free game. Just download it. They put the code in, and now they have that in their library. Fun thing about Steam is that even if you don't have it installed, it's still in your library. You can't delete it from your library.
Never forgets. No, it's wonderful.
So, yeah, I tried. I'll admit to this. I tried to delete The Game of Life 2 from my library. I play it because I like the board games, and I was like, The Game of Life 2, because I liked the original one. I think that goes back to the 60s, that game. And the second one just was so cutesy animated and dumb, and I was like, all right, this is a terrible game. I bought that a long time ago, and the other day I was trying to go through. I'm like, how do I remove? Oh, you can't remove it. It says you don't have to have it installed, but you can't remove it from your library. And then it shows up. You can see your friends and said they also own this game. So if you want to go,
that's always my favorite bit. Like with the either like Instagram or whatever, or these things. It's like when you see something questionable, but you always see like Eric like this, or Eric is also a follower, and you're like, you gross bastard.
Well, half the time I do it now is
half the time you're sending it to me.
Algorithm, you know that, because some of it I send to you, but a lot of it's to Rob.
Oh, I know.
He never responds anymore.
I got a few of the body paint cartwheels and.
Yeah, that's been the new thing. That I think that showed up because we were looking for the OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
For that collage. So that new thing showed up, and when I realized what it was, I was like, "Oh my god!"
I must send it to Jordan at 3 a.m.
Did I send it to you too?
I think you sent me a couple of the cartwheel videos.
Oh, okay. Because once you realize, oh my god, it's there, full, frontal right in front of you, but because they're wearing decorative body paint, it's technically allowed. I said, this will be perfect for Rob because he'll open it up and then it'll just ruin his algorithm.
I love it. I love when you ruin his algorithm because he gets mad.
It's fun. Intersect saying Moral Dilemma looks a lot like Stanley Parable. Yes, and I have not played Stanley Parable.
You should. It's a good one.
I had it on my list forever, but now there's the deluxe version. It's like they remastered the game and added a bunch of shit to it. I bought it the other day. It was like $25. So when I'm done with Moral Dilemma, I've still got Blueprints and one or two other games like that. And then I'll get into there. I found a new horror game too. I forget the name of it, but it looks like if Phasmophobia was a lot more fucked up. A lot of similar gameplay, but there's just shit going on. That
I know there was Demon Hunter for a while, and I was told that that's worse than Phasmo. So like
Demonologist, you mean?
Demonologist. That's
still good. That's another game that I need people to play with. There's been so many updates to that game, and I have no one to go and play that. So you tried Phasmophobia, which is the tamer of all of them. And you hid in a closet and then said, I can't do this anymore, and stopped and never played with me again.
Again, I was playing with it with like 6 inches from my face. That's a lot different. It's a little bit different of an experience.
It's not used to be hiding in a closet and then the demon opens it and grabs you by the face while you're hiding in a closet.
You've been dead for 10 minutes. I'm like, these terrible.
It happens. Let's see if there's anything else with gaming stuff before we actually get to the show.
Yeah.
Woodpit in the chat saying, I won a game today watching a stream. Final Fantasy 16. They're up to 16?
Oh my gosh. They are, I think, yeah.
Jeez.
I think so.
A lot of them. Well, good on you, man. That's great to do that. Intersect saying, you can permanently remove games on Steam. You can uninstall them, but you can't remove them from your library because you have ownership of it for your license. So that's the thing you can't get off your menu. But wait, Andy's saying you can request a game be nuked from your Steam library by pinging support. Here's the thing. It's still worth it to do that to somebody because now they have to deal with Steam support, which is not always the easiest thing to work with sometimes. You're inconveniencing someone for less than $5. I'm still in. I'm not overly embarrassed by having the Game of Life 2 on my my luck, because if people see it, I'll gladly tell you I bought it and it was not what I thought it was going to be, and that's fine. I would have a big problem if Jordan had sent me a gift code and I put it in, and then it was the Date Everything game that now shows that I own this game, and I can't get out of that list of people
because you know
knowing that I own this terrible.
I would screenshot it and post it everywhere. Be like, look what Eric's playing.
Yeah. I sent you the instructions on the screen. All right, thank you. I'll look at it later tonight. I appreciate that. He says, nope, you can remove your ownership. That's fantastic.
No,
I might leave with a Game of Life 2 on there just so people have questions. But it's good to know that I can remove it. I didn't think that would be a topic of conversation the other night, but I'm glad I tried to remove it. There we go. What is this? I have Burger King Sneak King. I remember that.
I have the disc.
That was
got them from Burger King.
Yeah, wasn't that a Nintendo game or something?
No, Xbox 360. It was a partnership that Xbox and
it wasn't that old then.
No, it was Xbox and Burger King had a partnership, so you could get the games. Like I said, they had I think it was Brooke Burke. There was like a tie-in with that one where it was it was like a cart simulator. The darker skin, I forget. She was like a model. She did something else. I can't remember.
She was She was one of those people on the. That's how I know her. She had a show that was on E that would come on before Howard's show.
Okay.
The E show.
Okay.
If I'm right, I think that's her. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, one of them was like a cart game. I can't remember what two of the other ones won, but the one I have is Sneak King, and basically you have to sneak up on people as the king from Burger King, and it was that really weird, creepy Burger King mascot where he had the big face and he was always sneaking in on people and showing up in their windows to give them burgers or breakfast sandwiches, and it was like that weird advertising run that they did. But it was fun. It was a good one. Yeah,
Brooke Burke. She hosted a travel show where she was in a bikini all the time, but going to exotic locations. It was called Wild On. It was on the E network. That used to air either before or after Howard's show, the Howard's E show. If I remember that correctly there. Whippet, I think that's right. I remember her coming on the E after Star. Okay, I knew it was around the time Howard's show was on at night, so look at that. It's the only way I remember her, just like when the name Daisy Fuentes comes up.
I forgot about Daisy.
And Fuentes. I forgot that she ever did a stint with MTV. I just knew her from the Spanish Coca-Cola ads that used to run before the movies at like United Artists Theaters and stuff. That's how I knew of her. She did.
Yeah, I knew her from MTV.
You would think she'd be the Fanta girl, but no, she was the Coca-Cola girl. All right, we should actually get into some of the stuff that we have planned for the show here. Let's talk real quick about what I was leading into at the beginning of this. See, Chris remembers her. Daisy Fuentes was an MTV hottie. Yeah, I remembered later on she was MTV, but I always knew her from those Coca-Cola ads.
I'm gonna put this up real quick since we're gonna get off this topic. These are the 4 games: Sneak King, Pocket Bite Racer with Danica Patrick. So you're wrong, Intersect. So you might want to get on that. Big Bumpin', and there was something else, but no, it was definitely Brooke Burke because I think I still have it somewhere.
Oh, you just pulled the punk card on him. Watch him show you wrong.
Hold on. I gotta do this. Well, actually, it was Brooke Burke.
All right.
Nope, took him off too late.
Well done. So anyway, we were talking about the forced updates, and then the fact that I had to come down here and everything was all signed off, logged off, and what have you. What was going on with this massive password leak? Why is it always a password leak?
What happened?
Remember a few years ago on this show, I was part of the Target leak from having what's the red card, the credit card for Target.
Yeah, the red card.
Those got leaked everywhere, and then they make it up and go, "Hey, it's unfortunate this happened, but in order to make it up to you, we're going to pay for a year of safeguard service or whatever it is to run credit checks and keep your information off the dark web." How come it keeps happening? Every company has this problem.
I remember PlayStation had a big one probably 10 years back, and they were like, "Well, we'll give you some video games to replace that, and some data, like you said, data monitoring for a year." I'm like, why would I trust you? But I'll take the free games. So this broke broke today, but this happened a couple days ago, and no one's talking about it. 16 billion passwords from Apple, Facebook, Google, and more have been leaked. 16 billion passwords have been leaked in what researchers are calling the largest data breach ever. The leak exposed 16 billion logon credentials and passwords, prompting both Google to tell billions of users to change their passwords and the FBI to warn Americans against opening suspicious links in SMS messages or texts. They've been investigating the leak and found 30 exposed data sets containing tens of millions to over 3.5 billion records each. All but one of these data sets have not been previously reported as being exposed, so the data impacted is all considered new. So it's not just a leak, it's a blueprint for mass exploitation, the researchers are saying. They aren't just old breaches being recycled. These are new, fresh data leaks, and they haven't been reported yet. And I just ran across this before because this is something that we've been talking about a lot lately, especially when they are trying to ban TikTok and trying to say it's because China's looking in on us and leaking our data and getting our stuff. Every time they've tried to ban TikTok and they're using this excuse, something like this comes out, that an American company or something this has leaked our data. At what point do we stop caring that China now has TikTok and we want to watch stupid videos because they're all going to be leaking our data anyway?
I hate TikTok, and not because some of the content's fucking annoying, but I opened up TikTok the other day, and the main page it's a sales app now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just social media; it's the front page is just showing you items to buy, things you can do. I constantly am getting notifications from TikTok that they're offering me stuff to that I didn't accept, and it's about to expire. About like here, last chance, 1 day left to sign up for this community fest thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking, I go, what is this? And you get these icons, and then all of a sudden it's like it was something about competing with other people. So there's like different tiers to get points for something. And it's like you can earn other points by competing in these other challenges against other influencers each time. It's like, I don't need to I don't need my real life to be a video game where I have to do this shit in order to get points. In order to do what? For people to see your videos, in order to increase your reach, I don't want these fucking things. There's times where if I don't have that front page that opens up that tells you that, it all looks like a sale. Yeah. It looks like this when it opens up.
Yeah,
right?
You go right to the shop page.
I don't choose to do that. I just open the app and it goes to that sometimes.
Well, and I think people who buy stuff off TikTok are idiots.
Jordan.
You can't see it, but there is
is that the Coca-Cola case?
A Hellraiser puzzle cube that I got from TikTok right about there. I have 2 T-shirts coming in, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I've bought stuff off TikTok. And
I know you
so
bought
far,
the
they've been pretty
Coca-Cola
good.
briefcase that we enjoyed.
Yeah, and that worked out.
I mean, to an extent, I get it, I guess. But Chris is saying, Subdivision says, I hate TikTok. Then followed by, I opened it up the other day. This wins the contradictory award tonight. I know. I still have videos and stuff I got to put up, and then I'm doing videos for other people now, so I got to make sure that it looks okay as they're posting things. But like, I get the shop page, or if you go and you get, it's not the Explorer page. What is it? Oh, this live thing.
Live.
Yeah, the live thing. And there's just constantly dumb people on this live thing where you're watching it and people are talking, they're having conversations, and like little graphics are showing up, and he's like, oh, thank you for the galaxy, blah, 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 blah. I appreciate it. Hey guys, thank you for this thing. It's like, I don't know what this is. It all looks like they're donating like casino slot machine emojis up there, and it means points or it means money. Is this like Facebook stars?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's just
I don't know.
That's what they're doing. TikTok, like, when they do the little buy the thing with the bits, and then you can have me say something stupid for 10 minutes. Like, it's just the same thing. It's just another way to monetize something.
I'm trying to see.
I don't watch any of the live content. I never do. I do get stuck watching TikTok a lot, and it's usually when I'm trying to go to bed, and I'll lay there, and then I'll get stuck watching these First Amendment auditors go and stand in front of businesses, and then they're getting pissed off. Then the cops come, and I'm like, oh, that was dumb, and I'll go to the next one. And the next thing you know, my whole algorithm is just a bunch of fucking assholes with cameras filming the Apple store, making the employees pissed.
Yeah, I'm not
Actually kind of fun.
I'm not looking for any of that shit either. But depending on when you open the app, I'm either in the shop or it's just showing me all these people with live videos. And there's stuff flying around the screen. It's like you can't see what's going on. Half the screen, like a third of the screen, is just the chat moving. Then there's emoji shit because everything's ADD nowadays. People can't just focus on what's going on. There's graphics going on there. People are thanking you for this donation, that donation. The messages I get from TikTok are telling me that I haven't. I still haven't gone live yet, and if I don't go live in a certain amount of time, that it's going to take away the option of me being able to go live because I'm not using it. It's like, fuck you. You should be begging me all the time to do this thing for your shitty app. I don't go live on the fucking thing, but don't
it's
miss
funny,
out.
We were actually going to try to go live on that thing the day before it was going to get shut down the first time.
Yeah.
And then like, well, let's just scrap it. There's too many steps.
Yeah.
And then we're like, it's just going to be gone anyway. And it was gone for like 24 hours.
Well, because of the software we use from here, if we wanted to go live, if you just set up the phone and hit that thing, I could do it right off the phone, but that's stupid. Yeah. So if we were going to pipe the show onto the thing here, I saw somebody was talking about doing TikTok stuff. It's like, whoa, you put your stuff on there live. You got to figure out how to shoot your show vertically. I went, no. I said, putting the clips up there vertically is enough, but doing it live where we had to do the whole thing, we look terrible.
Well, and we figured out after the fact that we can set up the system that we're using to do vertical, and we've used that for like consumer videos. So we, if we're going to put them there, we know we're doing. By the way, I forgot you got a lot of them. Speaking of, I this won't be on it, but these are fantastic. Twisted queso Dorito, twisted queso. They're like they taste kind of like that jar cheese from like Tostitos.
We're on a third subject when we were talking about the password.
Anyway, but yeah, so like.
But anyway, no, since you brought it up, I have these.
I almost bought those the other day.
Fantastic, and I got these for the consumer.
I almost bought those too, and I put them down because they're at my local Safeway too.
Yeah,
a lot of the uts.
Yeah,
but anyway, so yeah, like it's just. Again, every time I see these big data breaches, it just reminds me of why they held congressional hearings to ban TikTok, because they were so scared of what the data was being done and used for in China. And then, all these companies like Apple and Google and all this stuff, these are all based out of like the US. They're just getting our data and doing this shit anyway.
Right.
So I'm really just kind of getting tired of it. And leak my data.
And they all have been, for years now, they've been constantly trying to hunt you down to get onto what's the Microsoft cloud service one. Whenever it does the updates, it's like I get alerts. You haven't fully set up your Windows yet. What isn't set up at this point? I've had it for years. Well, you didn't set up your OneDrive, I think it's called.
Yes.
It's a cloud-based thing. It's like, I don't want it. There's no decline feature. It's either
keep bugging
continue or skip, save or remind me later or something like that. Skip for now. There's no actual, I don't want the things. Oh, well, we'll ask you again the next update. I don't want it. But you've got companies competing for the cloud service because, the iPhone still tells me my iPhone setup isn't complete because I don't have Apple Pay set up. I don't have a cloud thing set up on there. They all want this. Businesses use it. I get it. What's the Google one? Google Drive. The other big one. And you're going to, if all the passwords got out, how many corporations and companies or even small businesses are using those cloud services to, share with other employees, crucial business stuff, spreadsheets, artwork, video clips, all that kind of stuff. It's like, we could start seeing dumb shit get leaked. Like, hey, we've got the new Revlon ad that's supposed to come out at the end of for the fall season. Here's what they're doing. Like that kind of shit can fuck up business. Obviously, people's passwords, bank accounts, that kind of stuff. But you want to talk big business. Here's the new holiday reveals that are coming out right now. Like all that kind of shit factors into this. Why aren't the companies mad at this? Not just the people, who have it for what, like Google Photos or Apple Cloud for their phone, for their photos, like their family photo stuff like that. Why aren't if the bigger companies started screaming at the government, you'd see this shit being cleaned up pretty fast. and they're not yelling about it. I don't get it.
Well, and that's what threw me off about reading this. I mean, they usually report these kinds of things, but the fact that they found 16 billion records leaked and you had to dig to find this story is kind of ridiculous in the world we live in today.
Yeah.
So I found it interesting.
Chris Subdivision saying Microsoft begs you to have a cloud account. No one should have it. It blows. Trust me. Don't do it. I haven't done that. Like, I mean, back in, for work and going back to like still when we were at SiriusXM and iHeart and all that stuff, Google Drive, because it's just easy to transfer video. Like, remember it used to be Dropbox. And Dropbox never updated its interface. It was still clunky. It was still terrible for organizing. And then Google Drive came around. It was like, oh, point, click, drag. You could relabel. You're viewing it as file. Like, it just made it so easy. So now it's just, I'm tired of having to update passwords all the fucking time. Because all of a sudden you get a notice from one of the streaming services that your password is out. It's similar to stuff that's been discovered on the dark web. It's like, well, you knew that, but you didn't know how to block it. Your way of saying, hey, it's like when the bank does this shit. When your bank or your credit card company do this and talk about a breach of something, we're showing you how good we are protecting your stuff. Like they say, we're going to give you a year of this security service to monitor your dark web activities and all this other shit. And it's showing you how good that we have it. And by the way, you need to pay. Like, the banks make you pay for that service. They don't give it to you unless they fuck up. Otherwise, you got to pay monthly for those credit filtering services and what have you. It's like, because we take pride in securing our customers and whatever, we're going to offer you this service. It's like, if you were this good at your job, you wouldn't be constantly sending me these notices all the time. Cleaning up, just because we're going to clean this up for free, does not mean that you're great at your job and what you do. And I mean, 16 million, a billion passwords from 3 of the biggest companies that the world uses. Like, what you fucked everybody. Like, how do you even repair that?
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can.
I don't get it. Like, at what point do I have to stop changing my password to the point where some of them now don't even allow you? Because it used to be, what is it? Your password has to include an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, a number, some kind of symbol. It had to be longer than 8. Now you're writing one of those hecto whatever thing, the 24 character keys.
Hexakey.
There's one service I have. I know I had to update the password from what I had to the new one had to be over 12 characters. I'm like trying to remember all of that shit. You got a spreadsheet. I got to write all this down. And you can't even have that on your Google Drive. You can't have a spreadsheet up there with your passwords. You got to have it in a fucking 3-ring binder, ancient technology in your desk drawer. In case it's like, I can't find the Disney Plus password and the kid wants to watch Bluey. I have to go back down and find that fucking spiral thing to find the password if it's not already saved in there, or if it had to be rebooted or whatever it was.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I got to change my luggage combination.
Let's see what we got here. It's not different than U.S. social companies. How the government went after tech companies not too long ago.
Yeah.
That's right, Sleepy Hollow. Chris saying, we talked about that one. Preston in the chat saying, nagging us into compliance. It works every time as we move towards totalitarianism.
I don't like your language on Juneteenth.
I'm amazed he spelled totalitarianism.
I think he misspelled nagging.
He spelt the with an H-E. I don't know what to. You're constantly changing your passwords all the time. You're constantly getting alerts that this might have been leaked online. It's like, it's like you need some of this stuff, but then you can't function without some of this stuff, and you can't get rid of it. So you're constantly stuck. Gittle's saying, what do you even do with all those passwords? 16 billion is a massive number. How do you go through it all? That's interesting too. I don't know. Like, maybe they look for certain things that tie to government, bank, companies. Those are the things. They're not really looking at the people with their fucking iPhotos, backing up, their contacts from their phone. They're it's just he constantly is taking selfies, playing this date everything game. It makes no sense. All these screenshots. I think that's what they're looking for a breach that big. And then probably ransom stuff. Like how many times do we hear about, power grids and companies being held for ransom because somebody got in and locked their system down and they had to pay like $100,000 to like $2 million to get shit released. Imagine doing that to a government branch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, we locked down the IRS. You can't do anything. You can't do taxes. You can't do any of this shit unless you pay us $11 billion, a number that doesn't even exist. And they're trying to raise funds to pay $11 billion and then finally realized, wait a minute, that's not an actual amount. And they said, we know you're never getting this back.
Yes, please don't make me have to file taxes.
Right. Chris is saying, passkeys are the way to go now. Replacing passwords. Never need to change it. It marries logins to a device. Can't be intercepted and hacker proof so far. Eventually, it will shit the bed.
Everything does eventually.
A couple of things I think are tied to passkeys. I'm trying to think what it was when I had to reset things tonight. I think YouTube is tied to a passkey.
-2.
What else did I have that was passkey related? I don't remember. I know there was at least 2 things. I remember YouTube being one of them. Maybe it was Google to get into the Gmails and stuff. I think that I needed to have a code sent to my phone. Oh no, I had to open up my YouTube thing. And I think that like a number showed up and the number had to match the other.
I know
thing.
some of them do a thing where it's like, if I were to say get on YouTube on a web browser, like if I was on like my work computer and I log into my account, it sends me an email saying, hey, are you here? Is this you doing this? And then like makes me put in, like you said, sometimes it's number authenticators and things like that. But
maybe I won't get so mad at Netflix now after watching 2 episodes back to back, pausing and saying, are you still here? I'm glad now that they're doing it. They're looking out for my well-being. Casey in the chat saying, don't forget your password has to be entirely different from the previous ones you used. I cannot keep that many letters and number combinations in my head. Yes. Thus that, printing out a spreadsheet and having to write it old school and keeping a binder in your desk. That's the only way you can do it. Sleepy Hollow saying, remember the Equifax hack almost a decade ago? That was probably the worst, a credit bureau. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a big one.
But that's not government owned, right? That's
that's
is it even government regulated?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, Sleep Out. That's 2FA. Yeah, that's the thing I'm thinking of. Thank you.
2-factor authentication.
Yeah. Chris saying, I have the entire Ashley Madison's dump. Just an FYI. I think the entire O&A show is on that listing.
That was a rough one for a lot of people.
What happened was I remember the Ashley Madison thing, because if you're not familiar with this is, it's still, I don't know if it's still around or not, but it was essentially a service, almost like a dating site, so that if you're looking to cheat on your spouse, you could do this, and it was going to be really discreet and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. They used to advertise like crazy, like Sirius jumped at the money, I guess they threw, because they had live reads on our show that Opie refused to do. So I think Norton was doing the Ashley Madison reads. Howard refused to do them at all on his show. But I think like some of the Howard 101 channel had those ads running as a preset commercial, like they weren't live reads. Point being is that they were all over Sirius XM properties for a while. And I think I remember when that leak came out, we were reading it on the air and we were seeing all our names. Like people were making accounts for like Howard staff, our staff, other people at the company all had our names on this thing. And I'm like, I wish I had the login, because we were trying to figure out how do we go in and do all that. But if it had your name, but like the email was something that they made up with numbers and shit on there, like they do for Twitter accounts and things like that.
I was going to say, do you want to feel old? That was 10 years ago.
No.
2015 is when that happened.
Oh, so yeah, that's why Jimmy was doing it, because Anthony wasn't there. Okay, that makes sense. Anthony was gone from the show at that time. So
right, like just time just seems to be going faster and faster away from us. And
right,
it is just kind of getting ridiculous.
Time keeps on slipping into the future, or so they say. Chris saying most financial companies going passkey, PayPal, eBay, Amazon, etc. Well, all right, that's good to know. Or the authenticator. The authenticator apps are a fucking pain in the ass too, because sometimes like you go and it's like, oh, here's your.
We're gonna send you an email an
Twitch,
hour later.
That's the other one. Twitch was the authenticator thing. There's 3 different Twitch things there, and it's giving me 3 different codes, and like this one doesn't work. This was it's this app authenticator. Like I have 3 of them installed on this app. For whatever reason, and only one of them works, and I never remember. You can't relabel them. You can't do any of that stuff. You just have the Twitch icon, and got to hope one of those codes is the one that will let you back into there. Tom from Alberta. A lot of people use the same passwords for several things, so even if hackers don't get a password for a vital account, they can extrapolate from others. Yeah, that so many people use the same password, and it all is very weak, too. I get it. But when you try to get through the rest of this shit, it's like Casey said, there's only so many combinations in I barely remember phone numbers that I used to have growing up. And that was the time when you had to remember phone numbers.
It's like I had to have another kid just so I have another birthday I can use in some of my passwords.
I wouldn't remember half my family if it wasn't for Facebook letting me know.
Oh, I know.
Or now with my phone alerts me each day. It's like, hey, this is the day such and such died. I was like, oh, thanks, phone. I appreciate that. Dick. Why did I keep that in there? I don't know. 2FA, MFA use a token. Tokens can be intercepted. Passkeys use an algorithm that changes every time. It can't be intercepted like the other 2. Okay. Well,
I was going to say 2FA, MFA is going to be the weirdest show title we've ever used. It just won't make sense.
Internet celebrity Hellraiser is in here.
Hello,
sir. Thank you for stopping in. I'm now seeking a different insurance company for my car rentals insurance because my provider just experienced a data breach. Not to sound like a conspiracy nut, but no one is safe. No one is safe. You're constantly getting fucked. I'm constantly getting credit card stuff or bank stuff. And now this password shit of like, hey, I just think it's insulting when you don't know that it happened and you get the letter. They don't call you. They don't email you. They send you a letter in the mail letting you know that this breach happened maybe days, if not a week or so ago, and that they've taken the steps to secure you by offering you this. We're going to pay for a year of this service to monitor your things. Like they're the big heroes. And it's like, fuck you. I'm tired of getting this letter, Bank of America, from you like every few years because you can't get your shit together. Target, that kind of thing.
Didn't you have some problem with Macy's too?
Macy's was different. Somebody went online and changed all their information, kept to my Macy's credit card, and it was some address in Texas, and they were trying to buy a bunch of shit that got.
You have an issue with these kinds of things because not like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
I'm also in a populated area that people will do these scams. You live out in the middle of nowhere where nobody lives.
Damn rabbit took my identity. What was it? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were locked out of Facebook because the show account got hacked and
I still don't have access to it.
Right. And you've been dealing with that.
Because they needed me to submit a formal letter with letterhead and all this shit, explaining the scenario to Facebook. And I'm telling them, it's like somebody went in and deactivated the page and removed me from the page. Mm-hmm. The page is there. It's still floating on its own and deleted like the last year and a half of worth of content that we had on there.
Yep.
But there's no admin on it. So when I was going through support with Facebook, they're like, well, there's no admin on here to approve you to come on. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's my name. It's verified. It have my photo. There's no way you can't tell that it's me for that page. I need to get ownership back. I did everything they said, and they said, well, this wasn't enough proof. What else do I have?
Literally get on a video chat with me. You can see these pictures.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
You had some, and they said, well, that sounds like a somebody on your, that got onto your page. And no, it's not.
No one does that.
Somebody removed me off the business page and it's just floating there. They didn't hack it. They didn't do anything else to it. It's sitting there. I just need to be reconnected. It's a simple thing. And I still haven't rewritten the letter because now I'm wondering if I even need to bother with it. But, I got to redo the letter with all this other specification shit. I had to photocopy my photocopy. How old am I? I had to scan my license.
He had to mimeograph his identity.
Yeah, to provide all this shit here, and it still was like, well, it's not. It still wasn't sufficient enough information. It's like, fuck you, you dumb Pakistani or wherever you're from over there. Fix this thing. It was your problem. Whatever. I'm tired of this shit. I'm so tired of this shit.
Show me your boobs.
All right, hold on. Now I got
Yeah,
to do
now you got to do it.
It's like, I just want you. Can you please get me my page back? I just want my page back. Why is that so hard?
Send me. I want to see your boobs. I want to see.
I don't want to show you my boobs. Look, you have my license. You have my written letter here. It's obvious my photo and my name, my clips of my show are on there. Play the clips. You can see that it's me. Why is this so hard for you to connect me back to my page?
I want to see your boobs. Send me.
This is very inappropriate. I'm escalating this call. I want to speak to your supervisor. Hello, is this the supervisor?
Boobs.
Oh, right, fucking bye, and I hang up.
Thanks a lot, Sean from Meta.
My name is Jacob.
My name is Jacob. It's definitely not Sanjay. Stop stealing my identity. Your planes wouldn't be falling on.
Tom saying I just came up with simple code that site that I can apply for everything, so I don't need to write it. See, I don't even trust that.
Look here, beautiful mind. It doesn't have to be that bad. I have this complex scientific formula.
There's Sleepy Alice saying there's also a reason why they want you to use 13 characters or more so that it isn't easily brute forced. I mean, I get it, but it's not practical for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is why it's silly and bullshit that the government is trying to ban TikTok over your data. Your data has been out there from so many corporations. Yeah. And every
what is
time
China going to learn from me this time?
Remember during the election, everybody was getting flooded with fake political campaign donation requests. Like you were getting, we showed some of them on here. It was like Kamala Harris is yelling at me because they keep writing to me and I don't respond. Then you get stuff from the Trump campaign or whatever regional, like that kind of shit. Or you get the stuff where, hey, your Easy Pass bill is going due, or else they're going to be issuing you a summons.
I just got one the other day where it's like you have toll fines that you still haven't paid. I'm like, I don't live in a state with tolls.
I'm in the desert.
I haven't been to one in a while.
There's one main road that goes from California to New Mexico. So dumb. Preston saying that don't forget the medical information. I had multiple ones. Its organization send me letters about how all my medical information is out there right now. Everything is getting leaked. And then what? Chris saying, yeah, a year of LiveLock. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name of the company. LiveLock. Yeah. Always useful when you find out that you have a house you just bought in Botswana.
The land is cheap there.
It's cheaper than look. More people would rather live there than where you live. What does that say about you? Hellraiser saying my provider didn't even tell me there was a breach. The only reason I found out was because my monthly premiums weren't taken out of my bank account this month. I had to call them. I was pissed. So you had to contact them because they weren't taking the money that you needed. Wow. It's like, I'm trying to pay you and there's a problem. Chris saying the worst part of having socials hacked now is no human to interact with. It's all AI and a crapshoot.
Yeah, it's really
you use the social account page. You're basically fucked. Make a new one. I know. Well, certain one. I get my comments removed from TikTok all the time, and it's not even anything horrible. I'm not cursing at people. There's no slurs. There's none of that stuff.
Did we talk about this? Because this just happened to you like last week.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, this is a garbage take, or you're a terrible person. There was one guy that showed up like flaming this dude. And I just wrote, put a shirt on. And that got flagged for against
hate speech.
Something like that. I'm like, what? I'm like, have you seen the videos that are showing up on either side of the political spectrum in the States where they're screaming at the protesters, or they're screaming about ICE, and they're saying all horrific shit about each other? Those are being shown to you in your Explorer page, but you say you're a garbage person. You got your comment taken down. Comments like this and other things have all been reported. I mean, TikTok's the worst. You can't even skirt. Like, I'm not trying to say terrible things in softer language. You can't even just plain saying you are stupid for saying this. That gets you flagged.
You can't say stupid, yeah.
But they say, something horrific about Jewish people, or they're saying something horrific about killing Palestinian people, whatever is going on there. Those videos fly. But if you say something in the chat or in the comments, it's like, you're not allowed to say those kind of things. Are you not seeing the videos you're allowing? Mine was a 10th of as harsh as what they're putting out there.
That reminds me. Thank you for subscribing, by the way.
You're very welcome.
I'm glad you saw my videos.
Yeah. I keep getting the fake toll and fake DM. That's it comes and goes in waves and ebbs and flows. That's what it comes and goes and ebbs and flows.
To and fro, stop and go. I did get a text yesterday from a number in British Columbia. So I thought it was Tom from Alberta trying to stalk me some more. Right. And all it says is, "Can we talk? I'm bored here."
That sounds like
that could be any one of my children.
Or Tom.
Or Tom.
It's Tom. All right. Moving on. We got to move on to some other things here, because I've got tons of videos that we need to get into that we haven't touched yet. Oh, real quick, before we end this thing, I know I said we're going to move on, but there's one other thing with TikTok. And somehow it spilled over to Instagram. And I don't know how this happened. Now, there's things that show up on the Explorer feeds that sometimes they're just trending, so they show up. Or we found, at least with the case of Instagram, that sometimes your Explorer page can be modeled after people you're friends with and what they're constantly looking at. Right?
Yes, that's why mine.
So it's like, well, a friend of yours is looking at this shit all the time, so we're going to show it to you too, right? Which is how I found out when I was watching videos of kids getting hurt and like adults, crashing and stuff like that, or Fridays with Frank videos, why they were showing up on Rob's feed, on yours feed, other people I know's feed. And then they were like, "Have you seen this thing?" I go, "Oh yeah, I've been watching those videos." And that's when we started to realize, oh, shit that I'm watching is showing up and being offered to you guys.
Just the other, right after we covered that girl who's making pizzas in Canada, she started showing up on my feed, and I didn't subscribe to her. We just spoke about her, and she just showed up.
By the way,
oh no,
I want to show you something. Hold on, I got to pull this up, because if I don't show you this, the visual on this, you're not going to believe me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, she shows up on my pages a lot now.
I want to show you. Oh, this hasn't been updated. All right, I can't use that. Hold on. Oh, I'm not logged into Instagram now.
You're not logged into anything.
I know. I don't have the password for that. Screw it. I'm not doing that.
Just cut out. We'll edit and post. Be fine.
Hold on. Let me pull up his Twitter. Maybe it's on his Twitter.
Whose?
Hold on. I'll show you.
Okay.
Because you're gonna love this once.
Oh, am I gonna be mad at somebody?
He's not updated to this too. All right, let's just go to the podcast page and see if that shows up. There it is. All right. How do I do that? Apologies, but I just want to get the point across here. You know how sometimes I say we're usually ahead, not by much, but we're usually ahead of a lot of other shows, a lot of programs with some of the content we talk about. And then within like a week to a couple weeks later, all of a sudden it starts showing up on other shows, right?
Yep. I've seen it happen.
Well, let me show you this. We talked about that girl, Julia. Bruno is her name. She is she was dubbed the marvelous Ms. Basil.
Right.
She's the girl in Canada that makes Italian food and pizzas very provocatively.
In a very nice white shirt, the last video I saw.
Yes, I know. She's stunning.
You're like, yes, I know that video.
So we did a whole video. Go check it up on our YouTube. Go and watch that. Shortly after that, nobody knew who this girl was. Yep. Like some people online, but nobody in our circles, my circles, knew who this person was. 2 weeks later, let me show you what showed up here. Roland's Food Court.
Oh, that son of a bitch. Oh my God.
Roland saw the show or the clip or whatever, and went out and got her on his show.
Did he reach out to you about it?
Nope.
Oh,
no, that's fair game. It's not
sure,
like we have any ownership or, she was on our show that he's copying that. But nobody knew this person until we put this video out. And then I got messages from people that they went and started following her account. And good, that was the whole point. We want to promote her. But, I mean...
Wow. I mean, good for him. I mean, we're like, hey, saw her on your thing, booked her.
Yeah. Nothing.
A little heads up.
Not even reach out. Hey, do you have her contact information and anything? Nope. He just went around. It's like, oh, she does food. I'll have her on the show. It'll be good. So you make pizza. What's that like? He's like a very soft spoken Jay Leno.
Yeah.
I mean, good for Roland, but I mean, come on.
Click card.
Credit where credit's due. Okay, now moving on. Out of the other news topics and stuff we don't have time to talk about. Did you want to do SpaceX before we started doing fun stuff?
Is the SpaceX in the disasters section?
Yeah. All right. Let's do disasters and then we'll get to fun stuff. I promise. All right.
That is fun stuff. What are you talking about?
Oh, I hit the
It's
wrong
one of our most beloved things in the world.
All right. Here we go and go. All right. This week in disasters.
Sponsored by. We need a sponsor for that so bad.
Sponsored by LiveLeak. Keep your things intact when the world's coming to an end. No, the world came to an end because you leaked the shit and everyone got the nuclear codes. And that's how we got into this position. But look, it's hard to do this segment nowadays, especially during the fact that there's some real disasters going on.
There are some stuff
right now. Things are escalating, and there could be problems coming soon. It's hard to make light of a disaster segment like we used to like to do with plane crash, even though those are also terrible. I fully am aware of that, but they're entertaining. We used to love train crashes, a good old train crash. Car crashes, things like that.
We're in hurricane season.
Yeah, we got
train crashes.
Apparently, I'm ripping shit up on the west coast of Mexico right now.
On the list, yep.
By the way, if you're out there in the wild, Hurricane Eric is plowing through Mexico as a Category 3. I think it's down to a tropical storm now.
It's a weird sex film you've done.
I know. Eric plows.
Hurricane Eric's plowing through Mexico.
Yeah. I like
Gross.
that. Work on that. If Coke Logic's watching, make something like that. No, if you're out there, if you see clips online of newscasters talking about Hurricane Eric, if there's anything that could be used out of context, please let me know. Because I was trying to skim through. I mean, I had stuff going on here today, but I was trying to skim through Weather Channel and national news feeds. Apparently, the cable networks, the 24-hour, gave zero fucks about a hurricane hitting Mexico. But they're all about the people of Mexico uprising during the LA riots, but did not care that a hurricane was, demolishing beaches, flooding neighborhoods, all of that stuff. It's great to see how they pick and choose their sensationalism for the news. But if you're out there, you find clips of casters talking about Hurricane Eric, or Eric came through here and just destroyed everything in sight, 7 children dead, something like that. Send me those clips, please, or just give me the link. Let me know. We'll pull them.
Eric kills 15.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff
that
like
would be
that.
Great.
Eric gets the Mexican senoritas wet. That would also work too. That's a fine example. Hurricane Eric plowing through Mexico. Right. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Although that could be the show title, but it would be outdated by tomorrow. So you can't do that. So far in the lead, Jurassic Reparations is still in the lead for the show title. Anywho. So yeah, Hurricane Eric on the west coast of Mexico. Finding clips, please let us know. Other disasters happening outside of the Middle East. The SpaceX thing was recent. Big news here in the United States. I mean, worldwide, but all over the news here today. Do you know what happened? Did you see what happened?
I know the other day everyone was all abuzz with one of the SpaceX stuff lighting up the sky, and there was all the trails and stuff like that. But then I found out there was another launch. I think, was it today or was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Okay. So yeah, I kind of skimmed at it, but I figured we'd cover it on here, so I didn't go too deep.
So yeah, it was a dramatic explosion of SpaceX ship, the upper stage rocket, during a test at the company's Starbase facility on the Gulf of Texas, or Texas Gulf, however you want to word that. Late Wednesday, might have been triggered by the rupture of a high-pressure nitrogen tank. I heard something.
Rupture. The rapture would be when people are being taken by our Lord.
It could be both. Who are you to judge? I did hear that.
That's how the rapture happens. You just die in a SpaceX accident.
I was watching something interesting about this, with how static, just basic static, can ignite.
Oh yeah,
these high pressure things, and that's shit they can't even control.
No.
So apparently, along these lines, what were they calling it? An anomaly. So I think it was something like that. Static built up and triggered the fucking thing, and there was nothing really they could have, or at least right now, from the evidence they have, that they could have done to prevent that. And you go, holy crap, it's not just a matter of manufacturing and safety precautions and all of that stuff, but just basic, like rubbing a balloon on your chest. I was just going to say,
with a balloon was like, I got it.
It's like, watch your hair. No. Poof, rocket blows up, and we're left with this.
Art goes, April Fools, and then the house.
I got some great footage here of it. Bird's eye view. Let's take a look.
I'm glad no one's dead, and that's tragic that this shit happens, but man, that's cool looking.
I know, that's what I was thinking. That is
the coolest thing I've ever. That's really, really cool. It's like, oh.
Now I have this patched into a news clip where Elon's addressing it. You seen the rocket pieces fly right over there. And one of the other things I was seeing comments about was like, how did they get helicopters over there so fast? The helicopters were there as a precaution while they go through all these stages. They constantly have surveillance, like drones and helicopters monitoring all of this stuff.
How are the helicopters there so quickly? Why do they have so many cameras? Why wasn't it Katy Perry's rocket? Like, there's a lot of questions.
Imagine this is what happened.
Oh my God! What we'll do is we'll take the footage of her like, I'm about to get on this rocket, and then we go to this explosion and be the best video we've ever put out.
Her career would have taken a completely different path, and she'd be beloved right now. She'd be remembered like Sally Ride.
Yeah.
Whoa! In the skies over South Texas overnight, a massive fireball after a SpaceX rocket exploded during a static rocket test, a ground test for an upcoming launch.
Ship 36 just blew up. Ship 36 just blew up.
SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, said the Starship rocket experienced a major anomaly while preparing for its 10th flight test.
Yeah, it exploded.
Adding that all personnel are safe and there are no hazards to residents in surrounding communities. The explosion rattled nearby residents who posted videos on social media. One telling My San Antonio News, quote, "Our whole neighborhood felt it. It shook all of our houses." Starship is critical to Musk's mission to send humans to the moon and one day Mars.
Making life multiplanetary or extending life to Mars, the idea there is to ensure the long-term survival of life and consciousness.
But Starship has faced a number of setbacks this year, including 3 explosions. Last month, during Starship's 9th uncrewed test flight, the vessel broke apart over the...
Okay, hold on a second.
I remember that one, and that one was cool as shit.
All right. I was just going to say how you just said, you know, it's terrible that it happened, but it's cool to see. This is beautiful.
It was awesome. They were upset about that one because they had to divert flights and flight paths. So a lot of people were really pissed off about that one. But like as far as explosions go,
well,
that was cool.
People were upset that like parts were landing in Costa Rica, like on houses and stuff. And then, look, I get it, but it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah,
it's
Costa Rica.
But if you were just sitting there and you didn't know what that was, like the one on the right, that looks like something out of Star Trek, you know, or
yeah, that is
even
super
Star
cool.
Wars when like the Death Star blew up. Oh, and you just saw the remains going through the atmosphere. It's beautiful.
That's really cool.
Right? You kind of want that like artwork for your house or on a postcard at a gift shop or something.
I gotta say, like much like NASCAR, like you always want the cars to crash. Like every time they do a rocket launch, I really want to see something like this happen.
Right.
Like that's all I want.
So it broke apart over the Indian Ocean after losing control upon re-entering the Earth's atmosphere.
What is that, like a meteor shower?
And in January and March, just minutes into test flights 7 and 8, another disaster.
There it is. Boom.
Oh my God.
The rocket spun out of control, breaking into pieces and raining debris across the sky over the Caribbean Ocean, disrupting commercial air travel for nearly an hour. But Musk views the incidents with optimism.
With each launch, especially in the early days of Starship, each launch is about learning more and more about what's needed to make life multiplanetary and to improve Starship to the point where it can be taking ultimately hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people to Mars.
I don't know. Like my feelings on him aside, I think fucking explosions are cool.
I'm glad.
Like I really just think they're so cool looking.
I mean, if the world climate wasn't as volatile as it is right now, the show title "Explosions Are Cool" might have passed for it. I'm glad you said this. Your feelings on him aside, you have to put your feelings on him aside because I've seen so much shit where they're talking about SpaceX is terrible. It's like you can't treat SpaceX just because he owns it. You can't treat that the whole idea, the image surrounding what SpaceX does for your petty or legitimate political bullshit, right? This should I mean, it shouldn't happen, but it has to happen for progress for aeronautics and space development. Look at all the shit that happened during like the Apollo era, the space shuttles of the 80s and stuff. Yeah, exactly. You're unfortunately going to go through this in order. Look, if you don't have these issues, then fantastic. But if you have these issues, it prevents it from the next time from happening. Hopefully they learn from it. And that's how progress is made. They come up with new ways of doing things because that way obviously didn't work. Unfortunately, in that kind of industry, in that kind of science, you have to have these tragedies in order to progress and develop even further into better things. So you got to keep that in mind when they're all saying defund SpaceX and defund. It's like, fuck, I understand why you don't like the guy. I get it. But the program itself is necessary for what's going on here. We don't have NASA. There's really no other space outfits out there other than maybe China's thing that is this advanced in developing new things. The rocket launching on its own and landing on its own. The new things he's doing with I forgot what it's called, the Dragon capsule or whatever it is. The way that docks is completely revolutionized from when the space shuttle used to have to try to connect to the thing. He's still trying to goof on the Mars thing all you want. I mean, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Not in my lifetime.
But steps are being taken to make sure that it does happen at some point.
Yeah.
You need this shit, unfortunately. That's all. I'm defending the program. That's it. I'm all about astronomy and all that. At least the Challenger made it off the launch pad before it exploded. Amateurs. Yeah, but their explosion wasn't quite as cool. It went off into 3 like little smokestacks, and that was about it.
That explosion was cool because I was in grade school when we all got to watch it live and traumatize us as children. But God forbid I called little Timmy stupid on the fucking TikToks.
This is 2nd grade, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was 2nd grade when that happened. We watched it on TV, and they quickly shut off the television and said, "All right, that's great.
It's recess. Go outside."
Pretended nothing happened. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like it's another thing where it's like you can't call people stupid on the internet because you don't want to hurt their feelings or get in trouble. And then we had to live through like traumatic incidences while we were children, and then had to go to lunch.
Hell, what was it? 2003, 4, when the Columbia blew up on re-entry. And that was the first time that's ever happened. Coming back, we've never had the problem. Going up was always where
we had to cover our bases this time. So
it's like, yeah, it was always it was like the Marvel what if, it's like, I don't want it to happen, but I'd like to see if it happens.
What if we played the Challenger in reverse? Yeah, let's see what happens.
Look, it's a happy ending for everybody. We all move on. All right. So yeah, that happened. What else happened in disasters this week? Oh, that Air India flight.
Yep.
Where the one guy survived Doesn't know how he survived, and people were running like he was walking away down the street,
trying to make a phone call or something,
and people were crowding him. Like they realized, holy shit, this was the guy. They had like somehow they had cameras and stuff in there. They're trying, and he's just pushing away. He's like, I just survived the plane crash. I need to call somebody. I don't know what's going on. He's not ready to do news interviews yet.
Yeah. So for those who don't know about it, there was a crash last week right after we did the show for Air India. It was the first fatal Boeing Dreamliner tragedy. Flight 171 crashed Thursday moments after takeoff from Ahmedabad, India. Something like that. There was 242 people on board when the Boeing Dreamliner crashed into a residential area, killing all but one person on that flight. It's the first crash and fatal crash of that particular Boeing airplane's history. So
yeah,
it's pretty big deal.
Woodpit in the chat saying his brother was on the flight.
Yeah, he just laid him to rest. I'm
Jesus,
assuming
that's terrible. I got footage here, and it also has the last cockpit audio that went live, I guess, to control towers or whatever else they got out there.
Show me your boobs. I'm just kidding. Wow.
That's the kind of thing you should just send in the private chat so that we can play it instead of just.
I mean, just have an option. Like, I just need an option to do it myself.
Brilliant, but if we do it now, it doesn't make sense to do it.
It's not as funny.
All right, here we go.
Do not release! Do not release!
That was the.
Was that the air traffic controller?
That was somebody on the plane, because you can hear it cut off as they hit. Like the audio is not fully in sync, I guess, with the video by a split second or so. But it's somebody on the plane that was telling. I don't know if it was the co-pilot or whatever. But that was the last that they heard as this plane was going down. Look at this again.
Do not release! Do not release!
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Just mind-boggling. And the fact that, because we live in that age where everything has a camera. Mm-hmm. Everyone's documenting it. And you're now more concerned when people don't have footage of something than when they do have footage of something. But, oh, man. Horrific. Did they ever find out, or is it still too early? Because I know they found the black box, and they have something that only America doesn't allow. They have a DVR recorder that's built the same as the black box that has cameras.
It was filled up with old Seinfeld episodes, though, so they didn't really get any data off of it. It was filled with 16 billion passwords from America.
It's all 11 seasons.
Bastards.
No, apparently outside of the United States, all cockpits have cameras that are doing surveillance on the pilot and the co-pilot. Through the entire flight, so you can see everything they're doing. They don't allow it in the United States because of union regulations. The unions fought against it, and it got approved, so they don't have that in the United States. But planes everywhere else have the black box, and they have DVRs in the cockpits, so you can see what they're doing at all time. And I think I don't know if India has it, but some of them have live streaming. Like if they're in the middle of a flight, you could patch in and see the pilot. From either air traffic control of certain places or companies that whoever owned the plane, whatever the regulations are, like in Europe, they can dial into a plane and see inside the cockpit on commercial flights.
God, that would be so weird. You're just like scrolling through YouTube and you're just watching people's cockpit videos, you're just watching them fly a plane.
It would be, imagine you dial in and it rotates between planes, but every time it comes back, it's like that game where you're watching security cameras looking for anomalies. Mm-hmm. You have to report. You know what the game I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So it's almost like, I guess, like a Five Nights at Freddy's or something. But you're looking at the cameras, and all of a sudden you just see one of the co-pilots staring right at the camera, real close.
So
like, what the fuck's going on? Click to another one. The other guy's juggling. This guy's scratching his ass, reading a paper. This one's actually flying the plane. This one has monkeys. There's monkeys all over in there. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
It looks like a zoo.
That'd be great.
It would be fun.
Because every now and then you'd be like, I hope this one crashes. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Oof.
Jared with the callback. My name's Mariner, and for $7 a month, you could look at my cockpit.
for half off, you can get.
Well, you know what that means now. We have to lighten it up with this.
Hi, I'm Internet Potato Cardiff Electric. Actually, my name's not Cardiff Electric, and I'm not a potato. But for $7.99 a month, you could see my asshole.
There we go.
Anyway, on the heels of that, Godspeed to 200 and some odd people. Jesus.
Yep. All right.
What else we got?
I don't know. What else? We had the. I had the. Oh, the building in Dubai.
Right.
That is I hate saying this. It was impressive because of like I was a bit in awe of how that fire happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out there's certain style of building that's big in the Middle East and then even parts of Europe too, where they build these buildings in a way where apparently it's easy for the whole building to go up in flames by the design from that bottom, the way, because they all have like this kind of hollowed out middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just shoots straight up, I guess, because of the vacuum that it causes, manages to rise really fast. And also ties into that. I'm guessing the reason why Dubai could build a lot of these buildings so fast and so lavish is because the supplies they're using are not fully up to code like they have in Europe and they have in America. So they're cutting costs and they're using other materials that are more susceptible to burning and collapsing and what have you.
Building collapse. It's just made out of pistachio and chocolate.
It's all like paper mache. It's just painted with that fire retardant on the side that looks like popcorn kernels.
I think they spelled retardant wrong.
But take a look at that.
I can't read that.
Jabba.
Jeez. It just like crawls up the side.
Yeah, the whole front and center of the building. Madness. Now this is the Marina Pinnacle building in Dubai. 67-story building, 4,000 residents had to flee. 764 apartments were safely evacuated. No reported injuries. The incident follows a kitchen blaze on the same building on the 47th floor back in 2015. Somebody's fire went ablaze and set the whole building up again. So this building has a history of just constantly going up in flames. It's the 10-year anniversary. Maybe that's what it was. It was more of an homage.
It was weird because it happened and it was right on the heels of what was going on last week with Iran and the bombings and stuff like that. And I thought that was footage of like one of the buildings getting hit. And then it took me a while to realize it was in Dubai. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. But it looked like how when you like start a campfire, or you have sometimes they have these logs that you can get that are kind of hollowed out. And it looked like that's what it was happening. You had the structure and then the flames were going up that middle part. Like you said, that was like kind of like hollowed out because of the way they're shaped. It was just weird watching the flames just kind of crawl up that building. It was cool, but like it's crazy. Like, do they know like the extent of the damage? Is this like they're screwed? Like, did it burn down?
Yeah. So I didn't get this clip, but there's some footage came out yesterday, I think, that just showed it looked like the whole middle of the building is completely blackened and ash. All around it is all ash. People were getting hurt from stuff falling from the building. So people in the building got out, weren't hurt. People that were just on the street when this thing happened were starting to get hurt. Stuff was falling down. Yeah, it's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
So there, you can bitch and complain about, the Teamsters unions and other locals and stuff like that for how long it takes to build something, how expensive it is to build something. And yes, they're probably stealing a lot of the money. I'm not denying that, but there's also something to be said by the coding and the regulations they have to go through so you don't have shit like this happen. Mm-hmm. So it's like, do you want it fast and easy or inconvenient, or do you want it done right? And then it bankrupts you and takes forever to get done. Somewhere in the middle, the truth lies, but we just haven't found where that is yet. Probably Paraguay, some country that nobody goes to.
Uruguay
has it all. You are gay.
You are gay.
And then, Hurricane Eric is all up and through. Somebody sent me a clip already.
Nice.
I can't play it right now because I got to go through it. But apparently it said Eric came through and destroyed restaurants. So that's not the ideal clip I was looking for. But
no, but it's a start. This is, you're on the right track. We got to find better.
So
but we'll do. You set the bar. Somebody else has to top that now.
Correct. All right. That is it.
Do you have footage of the Southwest airline lady?
We had too much other stuff. I just want to make sure that, but that wasn't really a disaster.
Nah,
that was more
flight related.
Right.
Just put it on there.
Let's play something fun, and then I have a whole bunch of videos to get through. And once we finish with disasters, we got to play something that's going to lighten the room up a little bit. I want you to take a look at this.
Next up are entrepreneurs who believe their product is cooler than the rest.
Our brake pads are made with a non-corrosive poly plate.
Okay, so wait. You went so over the top with nonsense. It is everything but a legitimate product. And for those reasons, I'm out.
What my associate is trying to say is that our new brake pads are really cool. You're not even going to believe it.
Where is your proof of this? What study do you have?
Hey, I tell you what. You can take a good look at a butcher's ass by sticking your head up there, but wouldn't you rather take his word for it?
I'm out.
I find your presentation is exhausting and complicated.
No, I mean, you can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a butcher's ass, but then, no, it's got to be your bull.
Wow. You guys want this or American Gladiators?
Gladiators. I can't do this anymore, man. My head's about to explode. My whole life sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. My dad just died. We just killed Bambi. I'm out here getting my ass kicked, and every time I drive down the road, I want to jerk the wheel into a goddamn bridge and bun it.
You're a get the out of here. You.
We'll be in touch.
Good, right?
That's amazing. Fucking love that movie, and that is such a great way to put that.
That's where technology should be going.
That's what AI should be doing.
I do have a whole bunch of AI stuff. By the way, I got flooded last week.
It's a lot.
I
was sending you a bunch of them that are not meant for this.
I had some of the shit you've already.
I'm going to mess with your algorithm just as much as you.
No, it's not. I've messed my own algorithm. I have so much Star Wars AI that I still haven't put it all together, and we'll do a big Star Wars AI package. I got more news stuff, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. But I didn't see these come in, and I apologize. But we got super chats to go through here. Chris, our pal Subdivisions. This is going back a while, so it's not going to make any sense. But I bought a super chat for 75 XP. What the fuck? Your stream has in-show purchases now. You're the new EA Sports. Give me that #1 crown, Dem. I didn't know this. If that's the case, they're not giving us any of that money.
I didn't know that wasn't a thing.
But apparently, all this money. When does I think we get paid from YouTube in a couple days. So all that super chat money that comes in has to go to Jordan's Lego fund.
Yeah, I've got a few things I need to get.
How about you use it to pay off what you already, and then start frack from zero instead of going further and further in the hole, getting more.
No, I got my sister even sent me a nice little $50 gift card to Lego as a Father's Day gift. I'm like, thanks.
And you're 50 years old. That's insane. Again, from Subdivisions. Okay, holy shit, had to buy a $10 one. What is this? Congestion streaming? Fucking New York. Oh, wait, you're in New Jersey. Never mind. Take my money. Space left. There was one from Chris just throwing his. I think he's drunk. Chris, we love you, buddy.
Keep it up.
Feel free to send more super chats, but
right.
It's getting harder and harder to read. All right.
But we have to read them.
You want to talk about some of the news AI stuff that we had coming in? Now, last week, actually named the episode "The Heavens Are Empty."
Yeah, I saw that. I laughed.
Some of that was just hilarious. I have some AI clips I want to show you. We have a different take on the news. Okay. And then I also have something showing you back creating AI for back in the day of black and white television. So let's watch the news one first.
Black News Network. Tonight's story, a father of two returned home from the grocery store today to discover another man at his baby mama crib. Here's Tyrone with more.
Yo, what's up, Marcus? I'm here outside the crib where that baby mama stay, and apparently that ain't her damn car.
On Saturday morning, Jaquavian Snickerdoodle left to get some milk. He said he was shocked when he come home 10 years.
I just want to point out something.
And apparently
the AI
that ain't her damn car.
On Saturday morning, Jaquavian.
The AI is great. The people are great. The voices are great.
Yeah.
But look at
never get the writing.
It looks like like you're reading Russian.
Yeah.
Backwards K's, upside down V's, symbols.
Like the word is back El Falk.
That might be hieroglyphic.
Yeah.
You know,
wingdings in there.
Yeah, nothing. The scrolling news ticker on the bottom is all gibberish. Someone just smashed a keyboard and said that's good enough.
Type this out, a cat?
All right. So if you ignore the text on here, everything else is great.
Snickerdoodle left to get some milk. He said he was shocked when he come home 10 years later and find another man.
Yeah.
I just realized it gets all that writing wrong, but the store title, perfectly fine. They're going to the Black Food Store.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says. Black Food Store.
It does. You're right.
That's hilarious.
All right.
That's the one they get right.
All right. Got to listen to him.
On Saturday morning, Jaquavian Snickerdoodle left to get some milk. He said he was shocked when he come home 10 years later and find another man in that house.
Ain't no damn way. That's my Uncle Reggie's car.
Well, ain't that some shit? Up next on BNN, the semi-annual YN Fest.
I would love if an anchor came back from a pre-recorded
Well, ain't
thing.
that some shit?
From pre-roll, it's like, well, ain't that some shit? And then moved on to the next thing there. That'd be fantastic.
Well, ain't that some shit? Up next on BNN, the semi-annual YN Festival is only a few days away, and we asked the block if they...
You know what YN stands for?
I do.
Okay. It's not Jeezy, just so you know.
Ready to turn up.
And y'all be wondering what they doing over there. Well, we found out, and we gonna tell you about it after the break. Welcome back to the Black News Network. This is a developing story tonight. The mayor's wife is getting a train ran on her by some local YNs. Gotta love spring break. Welcome to the Black News Network. I'm your host, OG Dimebag Slime. Tonight's story, a gender reveal turns violent when local Bloods open fire on the party after blue confetti is released. Chaos erupted at the Glockton's backyard gender reveal when the cannon popped blue, indicating a baby boy. The husband's side of the family, all Bloods, immediately sprung into action by lighting that bitch up. During the scuffle, some of the confetti floated into a neighboring yard, causing additional shots to be popped off in that direction. Fortunately, no Henny was spilled during the ordeal. Welcome to the Black News Network. I'm your host, Papa Cap and Yo Ass Jones. Tonight's story, BNN weather reporter and local hoe Krakisha McRib thinks she too good for me. The part-time weather reporter and full-time community mattress was begging me to come through and lay this pipe last Friday, but now she want to act like she don't know me. She ain't ever had a problem asking me to pay for her food, but when it come time to show me what that mouth do, the hoe proudly lied, I ain't that kind of girl. So we just gonna act like you ain't already popping Plan Bs like they a daily vitamin. Oh, please. The dry cleaners won't even take your business anymore. They all tired of cleaning up baby batter stains off your clothes. Don't ever ask me to DoorDash you no crab legs again. You ain't never gonna feel these biggity black balls snocking all up on that tuna fish hot pocket garage door. And she wanna walk around here like we strangers now? Here's a forecast for any men thinking they about to get some neck work from this hoe. Expect a 100% chance of STDs. Don't be texting me next week saying, I miss you, Chocolate Thunder, come and get this deep dish. I ain't no hot and ready midnight snack hoe. You just missed the free shrimp. And now here's Krakisha McRib with the weather.
Right. I would watch an entire network if that's what they did. You couldn't. Yeah. That's so funny.
Well, the channel that's making those, there's more. So we'll bring you BNN updates.
There was another one of a guy who's autistic, and it's the same kind of setup. It's a network, and it's an autistic guy. I'll have to find it. And I'll send it to you. We can talk about it. But it talks about it's just they're so funny. Like, this is what this is for. stupidity. Like I don't want them to take our job. I don't want that. And no, I'm talking about AI. I want dumb videos that make me laugh, and that was perfect.
Well, we got more coming. But
Do it
first. Casey in the chat, $5 going towards his Lego. We get it. You like seeing him play Legos.
It's true. I'm gonna order some more tonight.
Funko turned to shit, so I don't have Funko stuff. I gotta find a new hobby that people will fund my interest with. No one's funding me for any of this shit.
We'll find out what the new big thing is at like New York Comic Con, and then you can make a list.
I'm sitting here begging for people to play video games with me as a grown man. This is what my life has become.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. Let's go back to the days of yesteryear. Imagine what the 1950s would have been like if they had AI technology. Let's take a look.
Breaking news. Women have been granted the right to vote.
What's next? My dog Charlie is running for president.
I just had the weirdest dream.
Unless it's about the breakfast you're about to make me, I don't want to hear it. Whoa! What are you doing out of the kitchen?
In today's breaking news, a world-renowned philosopher has predicted when we will have a female president. 1990, never.
See you in 2 weeks, darling.
Why can't I come to Hawaii with you?
Why spoil a good holiday?
How was work?
It was good. We researched what the easiest job in the world is.
Well, what is it?
Being a mother. In today's breaking news, women will be granted the right to travel. I'll let my wife travel from the kitchen to the laundry and back and nothing more. Can I have a look at the menu, please?
The men I please are none of your business.
I'll never forget my dad's last words. He said, Allah Akbar.
Jesus. I mean, you could have told me this wasn't AI, and I would still believe that was probably a show that existed.
I know, right? So far, the greatest line. Can you show me the menu, please? The men I please are none of your business.
That's good stuff.
That could have been a Lucy episode.
Yep.
But I digress.
So
I want to show, since we're talking about fake stuff. Remember I told you a while ago about those fake video game ads?
Yeah, I keep seeing those pop up every now and then. I think of you. I'm like, ugh.
I'm going to show you a few more. And then one of them falls into the category of being inappropriate, that we can start using it like we do the overnight oats.
I do like that
ad. That's 2, that's 3. Okay, let's watch this one first. Look how dumb this whole ad is. And these show up like crazy on YouTube and I think on Instagram too, that these things show up for their phone app games. And there's no way the games look like this. But the thing I really hate is that they always put fake game streamers somewhere in the corner of the video acting like they're playing the game, but they're so over the top with their dialogue as far as what they're narrating the game that they're playing. Look at this.
I traveled across the entire map for this guy, and he's sleeping. This is gonna be so easy. Come on, man. Electric pig on the left side. Hit him with some arrows. No, he took out our pig. But it's all right. We have so many other pets, and we need to block this blast. Come on. Throw that back at him. Get some damage. Nice. Okay, he's pretty low on HP. Ooh, we gotta dodge that. That was close. All right, let's summon our ego and fly out of there before we get hit again. Oh, come on. We gotta get this guy. He'll be so overpowered. Come on. He's so low on HP. We're gonna capture him right now. Let's go. In Call of Dragons, you dive into real-time battles against other players from all around the world. With the new ARPG Dragon update, strategy has never been so important, so make sure that you have a good one. Start your adventure when you download Call of Dragons.
All right, enough of that. But
see, I'm just going to do it, but I'm going to be playing that dating sim where I'll be like, look, I can fuck the toaster. I'll get banned off of whatever streaming services.
It's like, I'm getting a hand job from the Ottoman and the Chesterfield can't do shit. You're right.
That coat rack looking sexy as fuck.
They should be. It's like, I'm constantly up and down that banister. Yeah, they should.
The kid's back on the escalator again.
Look at this one now.
Here's a knife. Let's go with the AK. Nice. Now let's get
I've
these
seen
zombies
these a
out of
lot.
the way. Then we can get this upgrade. No, just missed it. Okay, let's get this minigun. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, okay. Now we can get the sniper rifle upgrade, but we got to stop these zombies first. Then we get the sniper. Come on, come on. No, we missed that too.
Nobody
+3
plays
or
a
times
game
2. Which
like
one is
this.
more? Let's go with the ×2. Come on. Yes, huge upgrade. You're probably thinking that this is a fake game, but you'd be wrong because this game actually exists. It's called Last Z Survival Shooting, and the developers turned the videos into a real game where 100% of the gameplay is just like the ads. Don't believe me? Download Last Z Survival Shooting.
All right, whatever. See, that's how far they had to go because they knew everyone was complaining about these ads. And now they're saying, you probably think this is fake, but this is 100% real. You go and you look at the reviews of the game. Everyone's like, this is not real. This looks like total shit. Total shit. Now, this game, I'm going to show you because this falls into the accidentally inappropriate.
Those are always
just like, we had this going on for a while, the overnight oats like this.
Cream pie, trust me, you need this in your box.
Right? There was that one. There was that GLP, that Ozempic style thing.
I'm not quite sure how something that's just a little tiny prick can be so powerful in so many different ways.
Like that. Or the pickle guy.
It's so hard, it's so huge, and you can't get your mouth around it. It's too much.
Can't get your mouth around it. It's too much.
Right? So
huge.
Was there another one?
Need more of those.
We do.
Jingle, 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 those jinglers.
That's an old school one. Listen to this one here and tell me that this is not exactly falling into that category, all right?
Okay.
Here we go.
Night is upon us, and the Red Gooner gang just brought the Rizzler to edge me. Keep slinging those arrows. He's trying to enter from the backside. Come on, come on. Yes, we made it today. This is King Shop, the top survival game of 2025 that combines elements of strategy and tower defense in the medieval era, where a rebellion has turned rogue and ignited an all-out war. Now you must survive by managing resources, defending and upgrading your kingdom against invasions, then teaming up with other players. Think you can restore the dynasty? Tap below to find out and play.
Right. But you see his, oh no, I'm doing this. Blah, 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 blah. But the whole thing is like, he's trying to enter from the backside.
It's like back in the Boy Scouts again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was full of a couple of them.
Right. See, Hellraiser agrees. It's like JFC. Exactly.
God,
This is the shit that's showing up all over the place. I don't want to buy the game at all.
No.
In fact, I want to figure out how to do class action lawsuits against these companies.
This is just propaganda.
I know.
Yeah, that was actually, I feel like he was almost blatantly, like he was trying to say the things to make us think that that's the intent.
Yeah, but that one kept showing up all the time. And it's so hard to try to figure out how to record the things because they're the pop-up ones.
Yeah.
And you can't like pause it and go backwards. Like, yeah, you can skip some ads or some ads, you can start them over again. So you got to, before opening up the YouTube app, I have to have the screen recorder going and then open the app and hoping that thing pops up. I have like dozens of shitty false start videos on my phone that I kept trying to capture the damn thing.
Gittle's saying class action lawsuit simulator is probably a game on Steam. Yeah, I'd play that. I'm just gonna sue GameStop for selling my data while I bought a video game.
I want a game that's just called Shyster, and you're just the lawyer chasing an ambulance and accidents and all that stuff, and you're just going for. It's like Lionel Hutz. You're real life Lionel Hutz. That would be fun. Now, AI has affected everything, and it's not just how the real ways of doing it for apps and photos and supposedly supposed to help with workflow. It's taking over customer service, as we've talked about, where you're never going to get anything accomplished. Have you seen those apps that are now charging you weekly or yearly fees? Or they do monthly and yearly fees, but you have to pay all up front at once. Like you can pay $30 a month, but it's collected as a yearly payment.
Yeah, they're like, I think Adobe just did that. I had something where it's like, oh, it's like $8 a month. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. But yeah, it's $8 spread out, but then they charge you the one chunk. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I don't want to spend 100 and some odd bucks right now.
So I thought I downloaded the photos. Where did
Mr.
they go?
Simpson, I was just going through your garbage.
Wait, I don't remember that one. What was that one?
It's when they needed a babysitter.
Oh, okay.
It's when he changes his name to Miguel Sanchez.
Gotcha. I forgot. That's when he was living with them for a while. Okay. Here's the images here. There's this app. You know how everyone's doing the 3D art for themselves. They're turning themselves into like a packaged toy, or they're turning themselves. Now the new thing is where they're babies, and you're seeing like Frank Sinatra, but he's a baby singing in AI, or Tony Soprano talking, but he's a baby.
I've seen the babies one lately.
So what happens in television? Well, not so much TV, but radio people. When the new AI thing comes around, every show, every jock around the country is doing the thing like it's a unique thing.
100%.
Right. So I see some of these things being created. I'm just like, where are they going for this? So some of the stuff is through subscription services through ChatGPT. Some are some other places. I asked one person about a video they put out, and she does social media stuff for a living, and she told me the name of the app. So I went and looked up the app, and it can do a lot of AI stuff, but it charges you weekly or yearly, not even a monthly, weekly or yearly. But in order to use some of the features for the video creations, you also have to have coins that you have to have, that you earn, get, buy, whatever in-app in order to use some of the features. So you're paying a subscription for this app to use their features, but some of the features you can't use unless you have additional coins per project. And I'm going to show you.
What's the subscription for then?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's all nickel and diming you for this bullshit. So the first one here, it's an app called Glam Pro. And I took some screenshots here looking at it. It says you need coins to generate photos and videos. Photos from 1 coin, videos from 10 coins per second. So if you want to do a 1-minute video, how many coins are you going to fucking need per video?
Jesus.
Not everyone's doing a 1-minute video. Some have a 2-minute video, a minute, whatever. You're spending more. It's like in-app purchases to some shitty video games. Subscription benefits: 100 free photos daily, bonus coins for videos issued each payment period. So if you pay every week, you get a restocking of coins to use for this on top of the subscription.
What you get coin wise, like if you did pay to get coins, what are you getting? Like I know, like you get.
I'll show you in the next screenshot for this, and then finally for the benefits here, 50% discount if you buy extra coins. You can't buy the coins unless you have a subscription. So who are you discounting this for? It's not like I can use a free version of the app and I'll pay full price for the coins to do these videos. You only get the coins if you have a subscription to this thing. So that 50% discount for extra coins is bullshit. Look at the second one here. Join Glam Pro, and it says, what are coins? That was the other thing I showed you. This one here, what you get with Glam Pro: priority access to all AI features, advanced editing tools, unlock 400 plus AI styles, new filters every day, high resolution, no watermarks, 100 pro photos daily, 3,000 bonus coins for videos. That's if you subscribe to their yearly, and it's $50 for the year. And it says if you do this, it saves you up to 89%. Because it's only 95 cents a week. If you do the weekly subscription, $9.
Yeah, so if weekly you're doing this, you're going to spend $468 a year. Yeah. If you just decide to pay weekly. Bullshit. Which people will forget.
Yeah.
I barely remember to try to cancel something on a monthly subscription.
You do it on a phone, it goes to your like Apple or
account, yeah.
What does Google use for app purchases?
Google Play, I think it's still around.
Okay.
So it might be Google Play.
So you're paying a 30% fee on top of that because you're using their service in the phone. It's not like you're buying the app, putting your credit card in. You can't get the app unless you purchase it through their app store.
But what was it? 10 coins per second?
Yeah.
Ugh.
10 coins per second. 10 seconds, 100 coins.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You're paying 2 to 3 times on top of your subscription to do this shit.
So you get 3,000 bonus coins for videos. So you get 3,000 coins that you can make videos from.
Right.
But for 1 minute, it's going to take 600 coins. Ugh.
It's like, what are you doing?
You can make 1 5-minute video per month with your subscription. That is not enough to do it.
It's gotten to the point where, look, I understand developers got to make money to keep, updates and features, whatever. I've complained about the people who use CapCut.
Yeah.
Because they don't pay for the CapCut service, yet they're constantly putting shit out there that has the watermark on it. It just shows you being cheap. And it's not like, well, not everyone can afford anything. If you're doing influencing, if you're doing constant content, that's considered an acceptable business expense. It's a video editor. It does captions. It does video mixing, audio stuff. It does a whole bunch of different things where it's worth the money. Same thing as the other one, InShot, worth the money to get everything that you need to do. And they constantly are updating, add new features. You pay the subscription for the year. It's one price for the year. And for the amount of times you use that app, it's worth the money. When you don't use that, it's like, it looks cheap. It looks stupid. Come on, get the watermark or find something else to do this thing. But when you have an app like that, and it's like, well, here's the latest AI craze. We have the script here. You have to pay extra to constantly keep using it. Go fuck yourself.
It's like, probably the most blatant case of fraudulent advertising since my suit against the film The Never Ending Story. So,
the bus that couldn't slow down. Anyway,
I love good Lionel Hutz bits.
We'll show you this because are we going to have time to segment 2? Is it worth doing segment 2 this week?
There's not a lot of news. We can talk about what's coming out and what we've been watching, and if there's anything there, but then we're good. So we probably don't have to split anything, do they?
Last thing I want to show you. I play those. I guess they're considered horror. Horror is so widely used to cover a lot of things now. Like terror is now considered horror, even though you can say terror. But horror is like the main genre it all falls under, because sometimes you think horror, you think the slasher movies. Sometimes you think horror, you're thinking Terrifier.
I actually had this problem last night when I was trying to find something to watch. I was scrolling through and I wanted to watch like a good sci-fi movie or a good horror movie, but they really kind of lumped the two into like one category.
Yeah. So, but and it's like, you have those kind of movies that are just gruesome and brutal. And then you have movies like Paranormal or Insidious or something, which is more like jump scare, not extraterrestrial, spiritual, ghost stuff, afterlife kind of things. That's not really horror like that. Like it's all, like you said, blurred together.
Yeah.
Well, I like to play those games that are, the ghost games, the hunting games, those anomaly games where you're looking at shit and weird stuff's happening, things are chasing you, that kind of stuff. Well, AI to the rescue came up with some new horror games for me that I guess fall into the subgenre of games like the Backrooms, or those games where like somebody shows up at your door and they tell you not to do things because something will happen if you do something like that. So I'm hoping this is a new genre of AI that starts blowing up. I've only found it in one place so far, but I've liked what they're doing with this. Take a look.
You have been selected for emergency overnight maintenance at your local Wendy's location. The store is officially closed, but a few systems are still running diagnostics. You do not need to cook or clean, just stay inside and follow the rules. Rule 1, keep the lobby lights off. Do not try to turn them on. They are motion sensitive, and if they turn on by themselves, hide behind the counter immediately. Rule 2, the Frosty machine will start on its own. That is normal.
Oh, the banging in there?
The noise.
They turn on by themselves, hide behind the counter immediately. Rule 2, the Frosty machine will start on its own. That is normal. But if it begins making a high-pitched whirring sound, unplug it without looking into the nozzle. Never look into the nozzle. Rule 3, every hour, check the dining area camera feed. If you see someone sitting in the corner booth, count to 10. If they disappear before 10, you are fine. If they do not, lock the office door and do not sleep. Rule 4, you may hear the drive-through headset activate. Someone will ask for a 444. Do not respond. They are not outside. Rule 5, at 3:43 a.m., the grill will hiss like it is cooking. This is expected. Do not enter the kitchen. Do not check the grill. You are not alone back there. Final instructions, your shift ends when the sun rises. If a woman in a Wendy's uniform knocks on the office door and says she is here to relieve you, ask her what time the Frosties stop spinning. If she answers, stay where you are. If she does not, open the door, but do not look her in the eyes.
The fuck is this shit?
Right?
That sounds stupidly interesting. But like what?
Yeah, but that falls into like the back rooms kind of thing where it's like there's all these weird rules and these weird creatures. Like, you do not do this, you do not do that. If you do that, something will come and get you. Do not go down this slide. Do not open that door.
That was weird.
So I like it that it was based on a fast food.
It was actually like kind of creepy. Like, I was starting to like think, okay, he set me up for like a jump scare and it's gonna fuck with me.
Yeah, Whippet's right. If she answers the machine is broken correctly, it's a ghost. That's right. The thing that you've got to worry about.
I like the thing is that the Frosty machine will start. If it starts making a whirring sound, unplug it, but don't look in the nozzle. Never look in the nozzle. What's in the fucking nozzle?
Yeah, what's
I want to know what's in the
machine.
Yeah, like I want to do the things that you're telling me not to do.
Well, so that was the Wendy's.
That is
one,
weird.
Right? Since Tom from Alberta, since when did Wendy's cook with frying pans on a gas stove? Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, when it says like don't ask for the 4x4x4, that was In and Out. So like they're mixing a lot of stuff, but it was fun.
Don't go in the grill area. Never go in the grill area. You're not alone.
I'm like, oh no.
If that guy in the booth doesn't disappear, go lock yourself in the office and never sleep.
Yeah, don't go to sleep. I'm like, okay.
Well, Wendy's wasn't good enough because then there's also the spin-off, the secondary version.
Congratulations. You've been hired as a night shift cashier at our remote McDonald's location. Our store operates 24/7, but don't worry, the night shift is usually quiet. You'll be alone most of the time, and your only view will be the empty highway, stretching endlessly in both directions. No nearby towns, no neighbors, just you, the store, and the road. There are a few rules you'll need to follow to make it through the week. Rule number 1, never serve customers who arrive on foot. If someone walks in from the road, no vehicle, no sound, just footsteps, you must lock the front doors and go into the kitchen. Do not look at them, do not speak, wait 10 minutes, then return. Rule number 2, at exactly 2:03 a.m., the drive-through speaker may turn on with static. Do not answer it, no one is there, let it play. After 45 seconds, it will stop. If you speak into it, it will respond. You don't want that. Rule number 3, if a black sedan parks outside but no one exits the vehicle, watch the headlights. If they flash 3 times, turn off all lights inside the restaurant and hide in the freezer. Do not exit until you hear a car drive away. Rule number 4, check the fryers every hour. If you find fries already in them, burnt and bubbling, despite no recent order, unplug the machine immediately and mop the floor in front of the counter with a water bucket. Do not touch the fries. Rule number 5, if at any point during your shift you see your own reflection in the drive-through window blink and you're sure you didn't, clock out and leave through the emergency exit. Do not finish your shift. Someone else will cover. Good luck.
My favorite part is where it's like, when you find the fries that way, immediately go mop in front of the thing and then
do not touch the fries. Yeah.
I'm like, why am I mopping? I really want to know why these rules exist.
Tom from Alberta, why does it operate 24/7 if it's very remote? Exactly. I mean, they got to have some kind of setup for the game.
Right.
But also, if it's very remote and you have all those fries, you kind of want to eat them.
I'm going to be making fries constantly. Those are kind of, that's interesting. Like, I don't, you have a weird algorithm, man. And then start sending me these things. These are cool. Again, though, like I'm starting to think like you were setting me up for like a jump scare. One of these things is going to be really creepy. I'm going to be upset. But I want to see more of these things. These are good.
I find it interesting.
Fun for AI. Like that's what you want to do with it. I'm
cultivating a very good algorithm between TikTok. Well, still fighting with TikTok, but with Instagram and some other things.
Right.
I'm happy that these things are showing up because it's great content for the show. All right. Finally, we'll leave with this and we'll take a break and then we'll try to rush through segment 2 because we're, again, another long show that we just complained about trying to do shorter shows. There's a holiday going on. I don't really want to say that this has anything to do with the holiday, but no, I think there's no way I can cleverly tie the two together. But let's just celebrate. It's Pride Month. It's the time of love and togetherness.
Yeah, spring's ending.
No matter what you identify as, no matter what your race, creed, color. I'll just say that, and we can watch this.
We are an interracial couple. Of course, I make him wear sunscreen.
Hi, I'm John. I'm racist.
Oh, wait, no, that's not. No, baby, you can't be saying that, okay?
This neighborhood's scary. What do you want me?
We are an interracial couple. Of course, he hasn't met my dad yet.
What, the rappers can say it, why can't I?
No, honey,
I'm not apologizing.
We're an interracial couple. We love exploring each other's cultures. Please just
say
cooperate.
it.
No, I
I'm gonna
really
say
don't
it.
want you to say that.
If the rappers can say it, why can't I? That's the show title. If the rappers can say it,
why can't I?
That's pretty good. I think you already did that one.
Did we do that one?
Yeah, we did.
All right, so I gotta stop hitting that so that it doesn't show up there. All right. Well, Casey got free plug from there, and she goes, "I usually come across things on TikTok late at night when I'm in bed alone, and it's awful." Oh, those things you do? Oh, did she follow me?
Send them.
Feel free to send those to me if you can. I love those weird anomaly things because it's just so off-putting.
Right. So
it's fantastic. All right. Let's go and take an official break. When we come back, we're going to talk about television, movies, streaming updates, all the things you need to know about. I don't think anything really interesting opens this weekend, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually,
teaser. You'll find out next.
More. It's Eric Nagel. It's Eric Nagel. Next.